I'm leaning towards FaZe. I do think it's going to be a better game than the one we had at Blast, because it was like everything kind of went wrong for Astralis. Is one of those MR12 games where the economy is bad, you lose the wrong rounds, there's like a big frozen highlight, and then you don't do anything, you know?
FaZe up, baby.
There we go. That's from the analyst. Let's jump into game. Dinko and Moses are ready.
Thank you very much, Sam. I have to agree. FaZe against Astralis. Gotta have FaZe winning this one today, Jason. And I'm probably with Prof as well. I don't think it's going to be as clean as the Blast Lisbon match, but I'd still expect a FaZe victory today.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty sketchy, ugly Counter-Strike as well. It's not going to be clean in terms of the gameplay either. Both these teams struggling to find some comfort. There goes EliGE. His aggressive play towards the jump up. He's dropped down. So all of a sudden, Astralis, they crank up the gear. They pick up the speed into the B bomb site. So they should have a plant with players locked out and time to get into some post-plant positions, but they haven't cleared cave yet.
Yeah, Brokey. Jewel Berettas unleashed a double kill from the Julies. Is there anything else here for Brokey? He's got teammates with him. Grenade lands on Cadian.
I bet you regret that one if you're Astralis, yeah. Because now you have to back out of the bomb site as well. Brokey just saved the day.
Yeah, he did. And he's still going. He's still going forward. Doesn't want to round that corner. Ill-advised to do so. Would give up the advantage that they currently hold. And with 1 minute left, Astralis has some time to figure out what they want to do. I think too much of a risk to go back into mid, perhaps, so they're going to stay committed towards cave for the time being and leave Device just stopping any B-ramp aggression.
Yeah, they don't have the utility to back away safely, so it's got to just be re-aggress at this bomb site, and Brokey's already shut one down. That's brutal.
What a start to the map here for Brokey.
It's a weird pistol round. It's weird seeing a T-side take a bomb site on the pistol and then bail out and then come right back to it. But, I mean, honestly, I don't know if there were better options for Astralis. I can't blame them for trying to come back into this B bomb site. That turn into the cave in a 4v5, Brokey gets 2, and that ruins everything. A follow-up Molotov to delay the plant even longer, and then Astralis' utility fades away. This round, it sucks if you're Astralis.
Yeah, and it never really gets going there at the end. So 3 from Brokey. The rest of his teammates able to close it out in the end. And eyes are on Brokey coming into this season. Interesting conversation being had from our analyst just before this one, Jace, about a possible move in the future for FaZe. And to continue Yanko's sort of relationship dating analogy from earlier today, you know, FaZe have had the divorce of Rops. He's gone off to better things. He's upgraded, Jason.
Yeah, he has.
And FaZe are left having to build themselves back up.
He's found that new hot thing over in Vitality.
They didn't sign the prenup, Jason. He took everything.
He's into 60-year-olds. He's loving Apex for the moment. Yeah, I don't know. This the funny thing is, it's like this has kind of been like foreshadowed, I feel like, for years. Like talking about FaZe, and especially last year with their dip, where it's like, you can talk about it all you want, theorize potential roster changes and point the finger wherever you want to go, but looking down the roster, it's just like, what change do you make?
Yeah,
you know,
tough.
Where do you go with it? Who's the person you want to swap out? Who's the person you want to bring in? With a roster like this, basically, no matter who you bring in for a certain position, you lose out in experience. So FaZe is in a tough spot right now if this lineup can't turn it around and find a way to work EliGE into this to a degree that makes the team better.
It's frustrating because you get such a good player like EliGE, you just know it's an awkward fit. You have to kind of force it in. And so far, it hasn't been very smooth. Cadian charging up towards the top of the B ramp. We're going to be fast about this, and pretty great opening. So that's rained down, gone by the wayside. Stown looking to follow up here as he pushes through cave. Carrigan starting to realize this. Has his MP9 ready to go, but can't stop Stown.
Yeah, some very, very fast pieces of aggression for Astralis to open it. Cadian challenging the B ramp as fast as he can. And also that play in through cave coming as quick as humanly possible from Stown after the opening pick. And FaZe gonna have to save. So first round on the board for Astralis in this 3 versus 5. FaZe want nothing to do with it. 2 MP9s and an M4 will be saved. And then we get to move on into the gun rounds. Both these teams are at such a similar place, it feels. I actually feel like FaZe has a little bit further to fall. I don't think they've, you know, I think FaZe might be rougher off than we might expect. But if you look at these two teams and how the year has gone, Blast Bounty for Astralis, 9th through 16th, same for FaZe. Katowice, 9th through 12th for Astralis, 7th to 8th for FaZe. Cluj, 3rd and 4th, they played in that decider game. Then you go to Lisbon, 13th, 16th for Astralis, 9th through 12th for FaZe at Lisbon. And I mean, you could just see these results, like, those are bad results for teams of this quality with these players. So both these teams coming into this event have to feel like there's got to be a certain level of alarm bells going off, especially if you're Astralis and you look back to Lisbon. So much attention was on Cadian for his rating and how he played at that event. He had a 0.45 rating with that event, worse for the whole event. But Yavi and Stair were right there with him, which is just like, that's team-wide like lack of comfort. That's not just one player having a tough event. That's the team not being comfortable how they're playing as a unit.
And it's more worrying, I think, in the Astralis case, because this is a team that are coming into the season without a change, right? They're playing with their previous roster. They had all of last season to figure things out, right? They came in at Rio last year around October, and that was one of their first tournaments. They really showed us what they had, and you know, they've had since then. Whereas at least on the FaZe Clan side of things, you can understand. You know, you're bringing in a big player like EliGE, you're losing Rops. That's a huge project to try and figure out.
True.
And so there's more. It's more forgivable in FaZe's stance rather than Astralis, I think.
They've had less time with it for sure. I think the Astralis changes. I think if you think back to like that roster move coming in of Katie and rejoining the team and Device no longer stepping away from the IGL to go back to just primary op. You look at kind of the risks that are inherent in that decision and like where the gamble is for Astralis. It's one, Cadian as an IGL coming out of the disastrous Liquid stint as an IGL. But not only that, you're asking him to IGL as a rifler, which he's never done. He's always had the AWP with him when he's been calling. And also you're kind of going into this and saying our star rifler is going to be Stown. And that was one of the things that the old Heroic lineup struggled with, was Stown consistently being that guy. And in the biggest games, is he still going to be the guy? And I think you're seeing Astralis right now losing on those gambles, where Cadian as an IGL isn't really figuring it out, individually struggling to have impact, not as comfortable organizing and leading a team around himself when he doesn't have an op, and Stown not stepping up and making that next step to being the star rifler.
I mean, we were reading interviews at the start of 2025 about Astralis struggling with CS2, like
adapting to the game.
Adapting to the game. It's
that one
been
made me scratch my head.
Time, guys.
I remember hearing that one, and I was like, that's not a good thing. That's not a great sign.
It's been around for a while now. Anyway, a little tech issue to kick things off here. We'll get that one fixed as quickly as possible and return to the action. But a lot of work needing to be done from Carrigan with this squad in particular.
Yeah, and I mean his tweets after their last elimination at an event were not pretty either. Just mentioning how they lost so many advantage situations he's not used to losing. They were rough in the clutch. Basics. I think the direct word was basics in the bin. And we got back time to practice again and again and again. So yeah, neither of these teams are clicking in any significant, meaningful way, and that's kind of the journey both of them are on, is to refine that magic to where all these strong individual pieces they have on the team can create something much stronger and actually fight for trophies.
Well, speaking of stronger, I think Frozen's looking much better since the departure of Rops. I think that's something that was a problem back in MOUZ when Rops left that team. We've seen Frozen come into his own. So at least there's a positive here for FaZe as Frozen starting to step up, but the rest is just dysfunctional around them at the moment.
Yeah, been hard for them to find a piece they can rely on, and that's a lot of EliGE. He also had that interview a few events back saying, like, still haven't really found my comfort within this team, still haven't really found the confidence in what I'm doing and how I'm playing with the people around me. So obviously, hopefully now that, as Yanko mentioned, the move is over, plenty of time, you start getting that comfort. Hopefully we can start seeing it in this match as well, that things are gelling a little bit better than in the past few events.
Well, tech issue resolved, action ready to go again. Astralis just got their first round victory. FaZe still have a decent fight. Brokey getting onto the AWP nice and early with that extra money he picked up in the piss around with his 3K. We're going to see the mid-fight. Stown charging out with Katie and leading. And they've got space in mid. FaZe let them have it.
Brokey's op is going to be positioned at the B bomb site to start this round, just to slow down any fast plays that they saw in the last round. With the mid utility put up by Astralis, he'll shift back to Red Room. It's Carrigan for the first contact.
Oh, Shadow's in, but it's down sharp to the headshot again. Back-to-back rounds, he's taking Carrigan out towards Cave or Jag. Worked out pretty well here for Stown. Astralis with the advantage at a minute 15.
And Frozen steps through the donut smoke to get a little glimpse of what's going on in mid and sees nothing. Clears out Red Room. Brokey holding the angle as Rain steps up to keep space for his AWP, but Brokey missing this. No repeat from Yabi.
Well, he has to go and look at B. They have to address this problem. So the rotation's coming in. They're committed to into the cave. And so Rain's trying to force himself into that jag fight, trying to get some space, but it's not going to go out well for him. Oh, shot from Brokey, no scope to the head of Stair, and EliGE has come back just in the nick of time. Cadian was holding elbow, and now he's decided to push forward and take space at red, and that bomb is coming with him. Device going through Donut, Cadian there to cut off rotations, and FaZe have got to go in for an A retake as they come back through, but Cadian could spoil the party before it even begins.
They've got kits as well. You're exactly right. They just need to get past this.
Back turn. Oh, Cadian not able to make the most of it.
It's going to scare them enough to back away. There's no point in going for it still. It's not worth the risk if you're FaZe. So even though the kill's not there, the intimidation was there.
And they're already on the hunt.
And yeah, now they're setting up to take some of these guns away at the end of the day. The round not over yet.
Yabby up towards the top of ramp. Frozen tucks himself into the cubby. That's going to work out perfectly for Frozen. The guillotine. Now to chop off Yabby's head. Now Device and Cadian. The last two, it's only Cadian that can actually get some impact here to remove another weapon from FaZe, but scoreline tied up 2 apiece.
I just mentioned some of the struggles of Cadian kind of calling with an AK-47 instead of an AWP. This was a really nice round from him. You know, you find all that pressure at the B bomb site, lose a couple of players. Brokey puts up some defense with the AWP. You call for the audible to the other side of the map, and Cadian's the first one. He's taken the initiative before he's even got his teammates rotating over. He's already taken red room. He's the pivot point, and that's a great call from the IGL. 2-2, we're tied up. Money's still there for FaZe, so we buy right back into things.
Charge out into middle. Yabby ready to go, and Frozen shredded. Another opening for Astralis. Mid-control established. And it's tough now for FaZe. They have to make the adjustment. In fact, they're taking a risk. They're leaving the B bomb site. They've got one player just playing far back. That's Carrigan blocking top ramp, but there is a weakness towards B that they're going to try and step up in mid instead. Rain fighting towards Yabby. EliGE comes around the back. Donut push is perfect. Yabby gets caught. Here comes the A main play, though.
Yeah, good find. But A bomb site's wide open. They'll be happy to try and recover that, and Yabby's still doing work on the other side of the map. I don't think FaZe fully realizes what's coming to hit them at the A site.
Cadian with some success towards that B bomb site. Now there's a shot from Device out from Brokey. Uses his own position against him. And EliGE able to respond. So bomb down a long way off from the remaining FaZe players. And Cadian still a problem, still a nuisance over towards B. And Rain has eyes on it, but there's a timing and he looks away. Stown should get EliGE mid as well. And it's clean enough there for Astralis. 3-2, they've got the lead.
Really cool T-side opening up with from Astralis. They're doing like really economic attacks in terms of manpower, right? Like a lot of these, like that's just 2 players walking into the A bomb site while you're applying pressure to B, and then you've got lurks set up at every different stage of the rotation for FaZe. They've done that a couple times. Even some of the B thrusts have only been 1 or 2 players kind of stepping in, and other players kind of waiting back to see what happens and how it goes and how they can exploit the situation at the end of the fact. But this one's perfect. Stown watching mid. You have the follow-up flank from Cadian through the B bomb site. Astralis playing well in these first 5 rounds. And now they've got a FaZe back to pistols.
Now, it's worked out pretty well for EliGE to kick things off. Oh, it gets better. Rain's Deagle rings out. And Astralis down to 3 players. They were getting these clean openers in the rifle rounds. As soon as the pistols are back out, they lose 2. They're going to be going towards the A bomb site. Brokey's here to defend. They want to get that AK out towards the bottom of the ramp here, just outside of the double doors. They can collect that, and that would be huge. There's no one from Astralis here to defend it, so they have got that AK to work with. And they start to clear together. If Brokey can get 1 kill here, it would be massive. But he's about to get peeked by the AWP. It's going to be tough. He has to nail this headshot. And here they come. Device stops him from finding any impact, so Astralis get in towards the site.
Yeah, nothing really FaZe can do from here. Save that AK-47, going to be valuable moving forward in the hands of Carrigan to drop that over to a teammate. Set up for some exit kills as well, but Astralis have found themselves in. And another kill from Stair. So 3 on 3. FaZe is still lined up like they could go for this.
Look at this flank. Look at the flank from Rain.
Oh,
They're so distracted, and he's got space to work with. Stair's gonna go down. That's a headshot. Oh, so clean from Rain. And he looks to drop Device, and it's a missed shot when he's not looking at him. He hits the hard ones, misses the easy one, and Device now to try and close this up against EliGE, and he will do so on the Tech 9. Rain gets it so close, but when he needs to hit the one shot needed to close the round, just couldn't connect it.
That's a beautiful sequence, though, coming in, and Astralis got caught snoozing. So much attention trying to protect the bomb plant towards CT, towards Donut. Rain has a real opportunity. Nice clutch up from Device, though, with the Jiggle Tech 9. EliGE trying to close the gap because he's got a Mac 10 and a 5-7. And Astralis win a close one, 4-2.
FaZe go for the tactical timeout just ahead of this gun round again once they've got money back in the bank. Brokey getting out the AWP. This is the shots from Rain. Look at this. Beautiful on the second. And they just couldn't hit the one that mattered at the end. Or rather, mattered most. And that's what you need from Device.
Calm and collected.
I like that echo effect. That was kind of cool.
One of the best of all time, Moldeva. Molotov out towards the jump up. Frozen EliGE get aggressive towards L. They've even got a third player, Brokey, in support with the op. So mid-control, the name of the game for FaZe, and they've seen a little leg.
Yeah, and EliGE likes what he sees. Here comes around the back.
Doesn't know about the second.
No, he ain't aware. There's a second player right there, and it's Yabby. He'll make sure that that headshot is responded to. And we got a 4v4 with a minute 25 left. Brokey's pinned. He's looking in towards elbow. Stair would die if he fully committed to the angle, but he shows a little shoulder. Frozen cuts off the heaven peak from Yabby. Cadian senses some space towards the A-bomb site, and he's going to move with it.
Oh, this is a nasty off angle. Is Frozen ready? Okay, survives. Gets a dink as well. Frozen comes back to clean it up. But Cadian, okay, just walks out into the open.
Yeah, great reposition for Brokey to fall back and adjust for that. Cadian hero to 0 in an instant. Carrigan sitting inside of the cubby with under a minute left on the clock. The bomb is just waiting for the rest of the teammates to arrive.
This smoke is perfect, though. Rain's shifting over, but oh, another follow-up one. If that faded and Device was able to try and make a play, you might have had a real chance at it.
That's the most frustrating moment, isn't it? Your Device just sitting there waiting for your timing, and a re-smoke comes in. 35 seconds. They've got to go through it. It's Device just waiting in behind the smoke. Rain looking for his revenge, but he can't stop Device. And is it another 1v2 for Deve? He's got the bomb down, he's committed to it, and now he's got the right read. Device, back-to-back clutches, dragging Astralis over the line.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one from Device as well. Having to step through the smoke, just take the risk. What a great shot. I don't think he knew where Brokey was until that utility came out. But you're exactly right. That's back-to-back rounds. Device has put the team on his shoulders. Delivered some fantastic clutches. All started by Cadian, though. That's such a nice lurk.
Arguable to say that that was probably another sitter kill for Rain on Device again. You know, he's coming to the smoke, the AWP. Yabby with some speed in towards A main. Not slowing down, he's leading this charge. The FaZe know it's coming, but dealing with it is another problem in and of itself. The flash is blind FaZe as they peek out of Donut. Stown just rattling bullets through them. Stair to follow up. And Astralis are going to grab their 6th round in a very convincing fashion.
Yeah, good job from Astralis. I mean, even this round, just keeping distance, keeping space, not trying to close the gap against the low buy that you know is there. Looking like they're coming into this this match real switched on. It is their map pick.
Question was posed, will it be a different matchup than what happened out in Portugal? And the answer to that is yes, already. This Astralis looking much, much better. They only managed 6 rounds on Nuke in the last game, 7 on Train.
Yep.
Were completely destroyed by FaZe, but it's Astralis in the driver's seat at the moment, sure, thanks to the Device.
And Astralis did win Ancient back at Cluj in their matchup with the 3rd, 4th place decider as well.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why they want to come back to it.
Money's still good to buy here for FaZe. Astralis on fire now, 5 rounds in a row. I mean, FaZe have been putting themselves in winnable situations.
Yeah.
They just lost 2 clutches. The Device, one in a gun round, one where they have pistols.
See if they can start closing out some of those late situations. Again, fast and loud aggression in A main. Plenty of footsteps for EliGE to hear as Stown and Yabby applying pressure. It's going to pull two more players over. Brokey and Frozen come to join up after they just got beat by that fast A play in the previous round. This pulls Kerrigan into a rotation as well. And with that utility, Stair's going to be calling out to his team. They have B lane control. They know what's coming.
Yeah, it also primes him for this fight. You can expect something to come over the top of the elbow, and Astralis are pausing. You know, they show so much presence towards A, so much pressure early, but zero commitment out of main. In fact, they can fall back. They can use the mid control if they want, or they can go back into the B play. They don't want to commit in towards this A bomb site right now at all. And so they're going to go back in mid and use Stair's space to work in their favor. Under 1 minute left on this clock, and Stair's about to put the pressure on Brokey, who's scoped in.
Oh
he
my
is going
God.
to die under the scope. Stair's got the headshot, and that is disastrous for FaZe. They've lost their sniper in middle.
And Kerrigan was just at the jump up saying mid was clear, so Brokey never knew one had already crossed over. Oh, now the hit into the A bomb site. Astralis putting on a clinic. Good trades. Bomb site is theirs.
Round's theirs. Save call for Rain and Kerrigan. And 7-2 Astralis. There's some great T-side work coming in from them. FaZe left bamboozled, especially Brokey in middle. Stair with the patience and great reaction from Astralis based on that information.
Yeah, this is sick. Astralis just working FaZe on this map.
And they've had timeouts so far. You know, they've called a timeout ahead of some of these gun rounds, and hasn't changed too much for FaZe.
A lot of it goes back to, I mean, look, it feels like there's a little element of old school heroic into this as well. You have like kind of Stown and Yabby really applying pressure to extremities while plays are happening on the other side of the map and other positions on the map, but those two being loud, pulling defenses in their directions, thinning things out for the main thrust. Things are looking good for Astralis. They're hitting a nice little piece of momentum here.
Yeah, it's been cool seeing Katie and sort of act solo as well, you know, playing alert, taking some space. He's had some great timing so far. Astralis not slowing down. A second timeout needed here for FaZe on the CT side of Ancient in the first half. We're just going into round 10, and they've used up 2 of their 3 timeouts. Those device clutches really hurt in the early stages, but it's become even more convincing in the follow-up rounds here.
Yeah, Jesus, look at that timeline. Just brutal. FaZe have nothing positive to hang their hat on.
No, and it gets worse, yeah, because at least their last few rounds have had decent buys, but now their money's even gone, so...
Yeah, it's just getting worse.
MP9 on 3, AK for Kerrigan. Kerrigan's going to be the hero AK this round, Jason, though. Watch this.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to be the star of the show in this round.
All right, perfect. Kerrigan watch. I love a good Kerrigan round. Few and far between, but when they hit, man, they're good.
Yeah, he's got it in him this round.
He's the solo B bomb site defender, so good luck.
What a smoke. That was brilliant. Flash out of elbow. Here they go, charging it towards EliGE, who's caught awkwardly by the flashes. Too much inside of mid, but here it is. The 1v5 for Kerrigan. The AK, Finn will make it win.
It's all been set up for this moment.
Here he comes, back over towards CT spawn. No moment bigger than this.
Oh, come on, Astralis. Don't be like this. They're like sending Stair on scouting
They're scared
missions.
of him, Jason. They're scared of him.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, he's booked him.
Don't you worry.
Oh, he's booked him.
He's gonna, no.
It was close.
Yeah, it was, he was just a few steps away, really.
He had the right idea.
Making that happen.
Yeah. So, a 6-round lead at 8-2.
Pretty flat game so far from FaZe. In control, complete control from the side of Astralis. Money's back, buys good. AWP's out again for Brokey. Yet to really see it do anything though. Frozen applying pressure towards Elbow. That's been a big problem for them so far. I felt like FaZe has lost the mid-fight pretty much every single time.
I think, I wouldn't even say lost. I think by design, they gave it up in the early going in the first 5 or 6 rounds, and they've switched. And they've had more of these aggressive stances to help them slow down the fast pressure on the B bomb site and to control mid and not let Astralis just work both bomb sites at the same time.
But I think in some of those rounds where they have played more aggressive, they haven't necessarily had either the weapons to challenge Elbow that strong or the utility. And now they've lost EliGE early on, this time from a device pick from the doors. He looks up towards heaven and EliGE is caught. Minute 5 on this clock.
Astralis knew he had that aggression, and there was just no reason for any of them to expose themselves to the danger, right? No reason for any of the rifles to come out of cave and try and clear heaven. You know that position gets more and more awkward the later in the round we go.
Yeah, Brokey's got to go back and now look towards his A play because A's been open for some time. Katie hasn't sensed the timing to go forward yet. In fact, he doesn't want to make a solo play. He wants to wait for that bomb to join up with him. And they're erecting a triple boost to look down and towards the B bomb site. Oh, Rain just tucked to the left side. Device slowly slithering his way forward. Sees the head of Rain, but the timing to drop off. He would have got info on that second player over there as well. The spam is good. Frozen's down to 4 HP off of that.
Yeah, and he's going to apply the pressure, but they're always going to finish at the A bomb site. They want to go elsewhere, so they're just going to set this up to pull as many players as they can, keep as many players here. It's not worth risking too much after this. Just Device hold the angle. There's Brokey with the pick. Device with one on the other side of the map.
9 seconds.
Oh, one in the open. Bomb being planted just now, and Device is a distraction and canceled. And okay, he might have gotten it.
He just about has it. No, missed shot over the top of his back. Brokey tried to deny, but that might have been the only way the FaZe win this because Frozen's on 4 HP and on the other side of the map, Brokey was so close to heroics but couldn't stop it from going down. In the nick of time, Astralis secure the bomb plant, and because of that, their 9th round win.
Oh, that's wild. Astralis is finding all the ways out of these situations. FaZe, the 2 clutches they've lost. Now a round like this.
I think Prof said it on the desk just before this. He said that last game in Portugal, everything went wrong for Astralis. Now everything's going right for Astralis.
Yeah, it's a little bit of karma. It's evening things out across the universe. 9-2. And a spectacular round.
It's a stylish mouse pad for Device. I like that.
FaZe winning the pistol in the second round and just getting deleted, Dinko.
Yeah. Device kind of wrecked them early with those 2 clutches.
Yeah,
At that point, they never got back on their feet.
They haven't been able to get back into it. This is nasty. Nice opening pick. Good defense from Rain, but this was all for naught. This was the distraction of the round. Device still able to do work, but this is the big one. Saving the day as the bomb goes down with, what, a quarter of a second remaining?
He had a bullet just about missing him as well. I bet Brokey wish he had a rifle. Well, they've got them in control. FaZe can't challenge for it, really. Good start from Rain. That's Stown going down. EliGE's turn to fight from red. Stair coming right in. M4 good for 1, but Device getting the trade kill. EliGE once again going down at the hands of the sniper of Astralis.
This has been Frozen's response a couple of times in this half. Is like a kill comes out in middle and he immediately pushes that smoke and turns the corner to clear red. So good find there and puts FaZe in a really, really strong position. There's a lot of risk inherent in that decision from Frozen, but he gets the reward side of it this time.
Yeah, so they're about to get their 3rd round win of the half. It's not a lot. Not at all.
Yeah.
But it's better than 2.
But it is better than 2.
It's better than 2.
It's way better than 2.
It's not over yet. Katie and Nyabi. Can they find a miraculous way back into round 12?
Kaden would have to deliver a banger under Rain here. If they get this kill relatively clean, there's time before the rotation comes in. After that, the support missed the chance. Rain just needs to live. No need to re-peek. Let the Molotov zone you out. Let them plant inside the bomb site. 4 on 2.
Still got Carrigan and Cave as well. They start to swarm them. Carrigan puts the pressure in. Brokey to close it out. And a 3rd round for FaZe secured at the end of what was a pretty terrible half in the defense.
Yeah, 9 straight for Astralis at one point. Cadian channeled some of that old school end of CSGO heroic calling in that half to put on a beautiful 9 rounds of T-side Ancient.
Yeah, Cadian looks so relaxed right now.
He does. He looks chill.
Very chill. You can understand why. Pistol round win, and they're off to the races to try and close out this first map. Up next, Dust2.
Should be a banger. Should be absolutely spectacular watching that map.
Could be.
Could be. Gotta solve Ancient first, though, and FaZe is going to switch over to the T side. Let's see how EliGE can do within this offensive organization that Kerrigan's been trying to develop. And how he fits in so far, because, I mean, it feels like every conversation around so many top teams is based around cohesion of roles and how there's so many teams past the top 4 talk about having a player in a position where he's not really used to it, where he's having to learn new things. FaZe is another one of those role teams that just doesn't feel like it's clicking so far.
Down, smoked out at red. FaZe not going to follow up through it too quickly. They're still taking their time coming out of elbow. Very quiet. They spot no one. Now they start to make steps just outside of red. Frozen, getting up and close and personal inside of the smokes. Down. Oh, he's about to get cleared out, but there's a second player here, Device, revealing himself. Cadian's alongside of him, and the skirmish in red goes the way of FaZe.
Yeah, really well done from EliGE. The follow-up kill on Device is critical. Important trade because FaZe jumped right into the stack. Stout might have been caught off guard. A 2-for-1 in the favor of FaZe in the initial engagement, and now they're just ready and waiting to prime themselves into the A bomb site. Kerrigan's going to join up with them through A main. Rain is following up in the rear to watch the flank. It's EliGE and Brokey stepping in now to an open bomb site for a plant. And this should be both pistols for FaZe in this map.
Stare to come back in from CT spawn. No one from FaZe giving a chance. They realize how important this pistol round is. They cannot let it go, and the time is ticking on that fuse. Yabby getting caught. Kerrigan nails that shot with a P250. And Cadian stuck in middle. No opportunity for him to get involved. So it is a 4th round for FaZe. The first step of a long road back into this game, but it's been taken.
Now, I know the first half was very one-sided and very dominant in the favor of Astralis, but listening to the pregame and coming into this, neither of these teams is obviously at the shape where you can expect them to just kind of easily close this out. This still can very easily turn into a contested map. If FaZe can take this pistol round victory, build some momentum, build some of those early T-side advantages, win the economy game in the first 4 rounds, all of a sudden you're thinking in those terms, and this game can come back very quickly to where FaZe can overtake Astralis. They haven't shown us enough to be super comfortable in this 9-4 lead. MP9 on Device and Yabby. Upgraded pistols and armor on the other 3 players, Down, Cadian, and Stare. And Kerrigan just gets pulled through that smoke with no support behind it. And I don't know what that was. But it's now a 4v5.
Astralis looking to ride this one into a 10th round victory if possible. FaZe slowing things down, making sure they limit the mistakes that can happen. And here comes some aggression. Brokey's got to handle it. Yabby can't win that fight at range with the MP9.
This is the salvage Galil. Okay.
Oh no, Brokey's gone down. There's a kill from Stown, and this is disastrous for FaZe. 44 seconds left. Get the hell out of there and try and get over towards this A bomb site. There's one player here to defend. It's Cadian with a deagle inside of Temple, and if he just lets one of them commit to the plant, he can take him out of commission, and he'll have a 1v1 duel. His teammates start to rotate over. There's the body shots. There's the damage, but here comes the plant. So it's a 4v2 retake for Astralis. No kid on their backs. 2 Galil salvage, a smoke, but no flashes. EliGE and Frozen need to win this round for FaZe. It's so important for their chances of getting back into this game. When that kill into mid, Frozen puts them in the right position, but he's taking damage on board. He's on 24 HP, and they're letting Frozen take next contact. Then EliGE has to play. He has to win it alone. His teammate gone. EliGE put pressure on, and Astralis celebrate a victory as they get back into that defuse with plenty of time to secure the victory. And with weaker weapons and some timed aggression, it is Astralis that come back after a pistol loss and pick up the follow-up.
Yeah, I want to see how this round started. The Kerrigan death is just is the one where I'm just scratching my head. I didn't see it happen, so I don't know if he's like trying to make a call to pop through the B smoke and just nobody comes with him. If he just kind of senses an opportunity and just goes for it. But man, that's an early death to give up, and then you pass over the Galil, which has further impact into the round.
Really good shooting as well. Like that deke shot from Stown into Cave. Just a little glimpse of a pixel, and that's enough. 10 rounds for Astralis, and that might have just been the one that breaks the backs of FaZe here on Ancient. They're sent back down to the doldrums. They've got themselves a Galil in the hands of Frozen. Tech-9s, P250s, not exactly what you want for a T-side play. Astralis staring at 11. And with the money gone for FaZe in the next, almost guaranteed to be map point.
Well, there's Stare, a little drive-by, never stops moving, Rain's all alone. Taken down and B-lane control, which means FaZe in the middle of the map feel like they've got to take more than they have at the moment.
Stown to take the initial pressure if needed. Yabby's waiting in the corner, but Stown's doing such a great job that it takes a while before Yabby has to step up to the mark. He gets a dink on Frozen, finished off by Stare, and we're looking at 11-4 for Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis is just in cruise control mode right now. This is lovely from them. Pistol round victory in the first half, second round victory in the first half for FaZe, pistol round victory in this second half. Gun rounds have not been kind to them whatsoever. Astralis has controlled this map outside of the opening 2 to 3 rounds of each half.
Yeah, full eco for FaZe. What a turnaround from Astralis in the last time they played. Looking to open up PGL Bucharest with a 13-4 opening win. That would be huge.
Outside of the pistol rounds in the second round, it's 11-1 in the favor of Astralis.
Yeah. They've
just been winning everything. Another mowdown, completely destroyed and decimated. FaZe gonna be looking at a scoreline of 4-12 on the opening map of this series, and their opening series of PGL Bucharest. They are starting in the worst way.
I mean, we had this conversation earlier. The fact that, you know, the top 4 teams aren't here, right? Your likes of Spirits, Vitalities, they're not here. But so when you look at the rest of the cast, you would expect, you're coming into a year like this, if someone told you that that was going to be the case, FaZe has to be a name that you consider as one of the teams to get to the top of the rest. But it doesn't feel like they're anywhere near that position at the moment, which is, I think, very surprising.
I think FaZe has a little bit further to fall before we realize how much trouble they're actually in. Okay. I actually don't see a rebound in the near future of FaZe. I think these struggles will continue into the major, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, with some of the competitors also making some big moves around them, yeah, it's worrying times. Here's Rain off the ledge. FaZe, not only have they lost the opening player, but Frozen's on 4 HP. Damage done to Rain. He's finished off in middle. Kerrigan just gets into the donut, but Frozen's about to be picked off the back of the pack, and it's over. This map is done.
And the insurance policy inside of A main as well. Yabby hears all these footsteps. Good first kill. Brokey steps up. He goes down also. 13-4. A quick closeout for Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis coming in with a dominant opening map, looking to try and take this series 2-0. FaZe have fallen flat.
Does anyone know if there is a football match in Bucharest later and Astralis needs to get to it? Because they did that quick fast, Prof.
Team, right?
Gotta just recalibrate the aim.
Look, let's see. I think we're going to see a better FaZe than what we saw in the first map. Whether that's a FaZe that can win this map and bring back this series, I have no idea. I have no clue whatsoever. I was surprised at how little of a fight they had on Ancient, which scares me going into Dust2, but this is their map pick, so let's see what they've got. FaZe going to be starting on the offensive side on the T side, while Astralis starting that CT defensive half of the map. And we kick things off into the pistol. P250 on Kerrigan with the smoke. Smoke flash for Astralis' defense in this pistol. Now Astralis lost both pistols on the first map, but still dominated overall.
Into the mid control, it's Rain just having a little peek through those doors and climb up into short being set up here for FaZe. You've got Stown out long and Device holding the long house, and that is one great kill to open things up. Frozen down.
That's actually a perfect kill because you're playing retake at the A bomb site. This defense is set up to defend against a mid to B split or an attack directly into the B bomb site. The fact that you get one kill and you're playing 5-on-4, if Stown can add one more on top, and he will, now you can survive. You can play for the retake. You have a 5-on-3. No need to fight anything else until your 3 B players rotate over and get into position.
Bomb plant secured.
You have to clear EliGE.
Here comes Cadian and Stare up first. Oh, EliGE! Oh, EliGE! There he goes, back to it, gets a double. Somehow makes the most of that. Now Carrigan left, and it's clean on the first. Can he get the second? Yes, he can! Carrigan looking for the 1v3 with the P250 and just couldn't connect the final headshot. 6 shots on the first, just couldn't get the one that mattered.
Carrigan, a new convert to the center view model.
Everyone's doing it.
I don't know if you noticed
days.
that. Yeah, I know. I've switched over.
Oh, yeah?
It's amazing. It's a whole new life.
Okay.
It's a whole new world out there, Dinko.
Okay, I like it.
First pistol round for Astralis. The kills from Stown and Device before the hit even begins kind of almost seal the fate. EliGE very close to bringing it back, but you have to say, I mean, even missing that first shot, he thought it was on, he thought it was a headshot, but I mean, incredible skill to still recover and still get a double kill. Still get a double kill out of this situation.
Yeah. I mean, if Carrigan hits that one, I think we all collectively lose our minds in the Counter-Strike world, you know? Hits that jumping headshot.
Carrigan's good for a crazy clutch once in a while. I don't know what it is. He's got a quality to him.
No. Connects on the Device. There goes Cadian, looking away at the wrong time, getting his crosshair back to land a dink on EliGE. Not enough damage to bring him down, so EliGE up first with the kill, but the grenade soars in and somehow still alive.
Oh my lord. Even EliGE is like, that probably should have killed me.
Here, have my gun, Rain. Yeah, have that.
Well, they've made noise, so Yabi close to the double doors is calling out 2 and lower.
Ooh, smoke fades. Yabi tucked in the corner. Star makes the short play forward and comes out on top.
Yeah, but
kill on Rain. Device finished off. Second shot this time connecting. Deagle goes through the mid doors. Here's Stown. First kill's good. Second's better on top of Xbox, and he gets away with his life. Star stops that bomb from making the way through the double doors, and Frozen now left on 5 HP.
Yeah, nicely done. Good recovery from Astralis. I was going to say, awkward situation where you kind of have to let Yabi just die close up to those double doors. There's nothing you could do to overextend to save him. You just risk too much. But a nice mid-crunch from Astralis. Catwalk and double doors being the point of the attack.
Force buy doesn't pay off for FaZe. Or rather, the scout buy from Carrigan doesn't pay off. And I mean, we're looking at a pretty rough start again. You know, 2-0 for Astralis, continuing their winning ways. They're going to go for a timeout early, Astralis.
Talk over this first gun round, and their money as well out of that round is a little bit busted, a little bit awkward losing 3 players. So they want to have that conversation more about preventing the economic disaster of your CT side getting reset in round 3 than anything else. Anything tactical, it's more just about making sure this is such an important round to establish some early control, doing everything they can to make sure they come out on the winning end of it. Frozen with the hero AK, and 2 Deagles for FaZe is the investment. 1 smoke and Brokey as well if they can find some openings.
Brokey has $100 left over. Not a lot of cash here for FaZe.
That'll keep the op out of his hands for a little bit.
And that is what you want if you're Astralis on a map like Dust2. 3-0 lead being teed up thanks to Stown's aggressive maneuver through short. Frozen caught, and the AK now falls in the hands of Rain instead.
Yeah, who doesn't have... Well, he does have armor, excuse me.
Here's the Kevlar.
He did buy low armor. All right.
He had no faith in Frozen.
He was like, just give it to me to start, man. I know you're going to die.
Gotta let him have a go, though.
All right, Cadian close up the double doors. You've got Stown there to swing off his contact from CT spawn for the time being. Device up inside the bomb site, Stare watching long, and Yabi inside the B bomb site. And 4 players, all 4 players of FaZe, gonna eat a grenade.
Ooh, that does not taste good.
That's some GOAT 2018 Astralis timing.
And Device on the cleanup with the 3K. Stair comes in to get that final one. A 3-0 lead here for Astralis. And you think it might get better for FaZe, and then you see they don't have much money here, and it's another weird scenario coming up. Actually, could be a 4-0 lead for Astralis to kick things off.
And then you just build on that momentum you got in the initial map of Ancient, and then you just start feeling real unstoppable. Frozen had Knife out, that AK-47 not even prepared. Nade softened everyone up. So it's an easy cleanup for Device, and Stown out towards Long. Good shot from Brokey. $100 in the bank, he got a scout, and he's already made it work.
Who needs an AWP? Here's Cadian. Oh, under pressure, and that molly's gonna slow them down.
He's got a smoke as well, but he might have to burn it immediately. He's not. He's actually going to shift outside of the bomb site. So FaZe, they could just rinse this hit. Just say, screw it. We got to pick on the cross. Cadian already used a Molotov, but they're going to play it safe. Round slows down. FaZe spreads out. And Astralis shift over to stack this B bomb site.
Half of Rain's health gone. But he's still got half of his health. So... depends on what you look at it.
Well, the question is, when is the timing of Astralis deciding to, okay, it's right now. It's right now when they decide to push the B bomb site. 3 players over, they over-rotated.
Ooh.
And since this round has slowed down, they're thinking in their heads, we have a chance to get back into this. There are some options available to us. If they can find Rain in lower, in mid, at Xbox.
If Stair can delay, if he can be a thorn in the side of FaZe, oh, well, Rain goes down in middle, so now it's going to be an acceleration for Astralis, and FaZe know what's up. So they have to go fast up long. So Carrigan, with the pressure on his shoulders from short side, Stair's just looking to try and delay them at long for as long as possible, but he's smoked out, so looks up to short instead. Here comes EliGE, bomb on his back. Moving into the bomb site, Stoun's come in with a pick. Cadian's long flank's good. Frozen's gone. Bomb plant being secure right now. And Carrigan, oh, can't make it happen. It's all on EliGE. He's going to try and stop them, but it's not going to be able to happen. EliGE just under too much pressure. Astralis swarm them in all different directions. And that B push comes at the perfect time.
Yeah, that's a lovely call. I almost thought Astralis might just be calling it around with that shift over that stack and just camping the B bomb site, but a really nice timing to hit that push into upper tunnels for the information, for the fast play, and they even kind of ignored Catwalk. Carrigan was turned in waiting for that flank up Catwalk. They decided to go long, so again, just making all the right decisions. And if you're FaZe, with some of the struggles that you've had after EliGE has joined the roster, you know, the basics aren't working, as Carrigan have said, losing advantage situations, things feel a little bit disconnected. You start getting aggressive CT sides like that from Astralis, where they're pushing you while you're trying to communicate and trying to make sure everyone's on the same page. That's extra frustrating. Sneakily, maybe not even sneakily, but this has turned into a very tough game for FaZe.
Yeah, the mountain to climb is just getting steeper and steeper. Smoke into the CT cross. Stair just jiggling. Tosses out the utility as soon as information's collected on Frozen's presence. Minute 5 on the clock. Short taken here by Carrigan. And EliGE is going to smoke the CT cross and stay committed down at lower tunnels. Here comes a long play for Astralis. Stair getting hungry, pushes in towards the longhouse itself, and FaZe start to move through the mid doors, putting pressure towards the B bomb site with Cadian in position.
Ooh, there's 3. Now you spot it all. Yabby, that's not a fun spot to be in, but that smoke at double doors might help you. It's a slow creeping B split.
Nice peek from Yabby, gets back to the angle at the double doors, and Yabby melts them, shreds them, and nearly gets the window picked. But EliGE is left in a 1v2.
No health.
Low HP, 18 to be exact, and he's just waiting out behind the smoke. Smoke fades now. Gap at a fight, headshot in. EliGE predicting the move to come through window, but Device was a little bit further back. But he's got the health advantage, and Device just goes into the fight, and EliGE wins. A crucial clutch here for FaZe Clan.
Quad kill for EliGE in the round as well. Beautifully put together, start to finish, and they needed that. They needed a round win. They needed some life here on Dust2, and more more importantly, considering Ancient was decided by devices, 2 back-to-back 1v2 clutches, EliGE adding a late-round victory for FaZe is something they never had in the first map. Let's see if they can build upon it, because the ops have come out now. Not 1, but 2. Device and Cadian both picking up the big green, and both going to challenge double doors.
One of the rare occasions where Cadian actually does get to play on his primary choice weapon.
I mean, it makes sense that you'd want to slip into the double op with Cadian, you know, as a rifler in this lineup. Just the double op has not been super popular, and it's so economically damaging if it doesn't work out, especially at MR12.
But when you're having a day like today,
yeah,
where you're kind of dominating,
go for it.
Yeah, this will be your opportunity. Let's see if it works. Device peering down long. So this is the first crack of the whip for one of the AWPs. And they go right into his waiting arms. And he's not welcoming. The second op is in the same position, just a little bit lower. It's out towards CT now. As Cadian looking to get involved, but Broky's got his second of the round, and it doesn't look too hot right now for Astralis. Cadian's starting to back away deeper and deeper into CT spawn, and unless Stown challenges for this site control, it's over, and he's gone. So save that op. Yabi's gonna get out of there too. You might be able to get both ops if Yabi can get his hands on it.
Do you want both ops?
Yeah, one more go. It didn't work that well in this round.
They spent all their cash in the previous round to get the double op setup, and now they have literally like no money. 50 on Stown and Cadian, 150 on Stair and Yabi, and so the double op is all you're going to have into the next one as well.
Yeah, you can see how quickly the finances get drained when you pick up 2 of them. At 4-2, that EliGE clutch might prove to be a turning point in this half.
Yeah, let's see, one more step. Winning this low buy / force buy if it comes out around the AWPs, and then all of a sudden if you're FaZe, you have economic control and you can rattle it off. So we'll see, that could have been the moment. 2 rounds in a row for FaZe. In the gun rounds as well, something that didn't happen in the first map. Fist bumps are out, and let's see what Astralis choose to do with the limited money they have to work with. 2K pretty much across the board. And they're going to buy up around the ops.
EliGE moving forward at short with some pace, so gets around the corner. Gets all the way up to top short now. Stown just waiting for that little jump up. But he isn't going to show anything to EliGE. Stays low enough. Then he's safe from his gaze. And here comes Cadian in towards the site. And the scope ready to go from Goose. EliGE with the smoke tossed out. Gonna go into the flash peek. Carrigan falls victim to Cadian, who goes back out again, and the second shot from Cadian is delightful. Brokey going down. Cadian starting to move forward. Changes his position slightly, gets eyes on his next victim. Cadian landed that. Another kill on Rain, and a shutdown from Astralis. All 5 stay alive, and FaZe Clan just melt upon their hand.
God damn, Cadian. Let me see that jump up shot one more time. I was like, in my head, I'm like...
I thought he's dead. I'm like, why?
You're crazy. Just live. You don't need to do this. And it all works out. Even his teammate from ramp gets a kill as they're trying to punish him.
He was locked in.
And Astralis just put another spectacular round on the board. Frozen calling for some support. It looks like.
Guys, I can't do this anymore.
It's like something's wrong with his PC.
Yeah, it's the only explanation.
Get it out of here. Give me the full swap, PGL.
That was sick. Cadian. That's why. That's why you let him on the op sometimes, Jason.
Oh, absolutely. I'm down for it. It's just, there's a lot of risks associated with the double op setup.
Yep.
Which is why we don't see it all that often. But yeah, with Device and Cadian, spring every once in a while. Live a little bit.
All right, here we go. Get to see that sequence one more time.
First one blind, second one just a blind shot, no information through the smoke, and the third one jumping up. Stown is the one to save his life as well, and yeah.
Frustrating start of the game here for Frozen. 0-6 at the moment.
Not even the start of the game, just the whole series surely has been frustrating for everyone on FaZe. Now it's going from bad to worse, because now
Device's turn on the AWP.
everyone on this FaZe team will remember what it was like playing against Device when he was at his peak, and it's probably feeling similar at the moment. He's been so many different places with the AWP, harassed you a number of times, and he ain't missing that first shot.
Here comes the walk, right at the front. The pack of players going back in short. They're surely expecting this.
What's he doing?
What? Yeah, Device is just chilling right now.
He's
He's like, oh,
looking for a
hold
napkin.
on. Actually, I gotta play here again.
What was that?
I have no idea. Everything went quiet, but he's still here, still fragging.
Yeah, but he's had to give up so much space because of whatever it was he was doing.
Got an itch, Jason.
Wiping his hands
He had
off.
to scratch.
All right, it's still recoverable. Just would have been nice to maybe have one more.
This would be a pretty sick highlight, though, wouldn't it, from Device? You know, you get the first opening, you take a break doing something, and then you just come back and clean up. But missed shot into the sight. Star's not going to miss his opportunity, and here comes the retake. Astralis arriving, the cavalry's in, and
dude.
Device blasts Brokey through the box. Another flawless round for Astralis. They don't lose a single player.
Get FaZe out, bro. They're done.
The towel has been thrown in.
This is sick. Astralis has come in so locked in after that disappointing performance in Lisbon that it doesn't even matter.
No.
That's such a clean retake as well. And they've had clean retakes throughout the series. Even when FaZe have put themselves into bomb sites, Astralis has done such a good job.
Bang.
It's hard to imagine, like, part of it is, like, if you look back at that Lisbon, and we kind of highlighted it, a really bad performance for Astralis as a team and individually. It also had that, like, added kick in the balls of taking them out of the major and making them go to the MRQ. There were a lot of things that went wrong at that event. One of them was Cadian being the worst rated player statistically, Stare and Yabi being, like, in the bottom 4 as well.
You know.
So, like, it's hard to tell if it's just, like, individually they're so much better, so the tactics are naturally going to look stronger.
Right.
But a completely different team from a few weeks ago to now.
So what you're saying is Cadian took one for the team.
Yeah.
Made everybody else look better.
They just had to feel rock bottom to get fired up.
But Device got another opening pick, this time against the weaker weapons. And a different position again. He was at short this time.
Dev has 4-0 in opening engagements.
Yeah, that's,
Here on Dust2.
that's a pretty nice stat to have.
I think the first one was the pistol round, but everything else, the AWP has just been shutting down FaZe every step they take around a corner.
Hey, saving those 2 ops
True.
paid off.
That's a good callback. Yeah. Saving both ops has been very nice to them, and now they got some money in the bank behind it, so the double op setup is truly powered up. However, one mistake from Yabi, and you put those ops into a situation where they got to retake the B bomb site, that's not fun.
No, but he's done well. He's delaying them. He's got plenty of utility. And FaZe just roll their eyes as they have to look at a smoke and go through it. Here's the lurch smoke. There's the shot from Cadian, and Yabi's on the cleanup. Double the close and a 7th round win for Astralis.
God damn. New look Astralis coming in hot, and FaZe's struggles continue. First time out used by FaZe to talk things over. They've tried to play themselves out of this for 9 rounds, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, Neo's turn. I mean, there was a difference. FaZe on Ancient used 2 timeouts within the first, 7 or 8 rounds of the game. This time, you know, getting a little deeper in before they call their first timeout, and same result at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that might just be something simple, attributing it to, like, maybe less comfortable on Ancient, so wanting to take those timeouts earlier to make sure it doesn't spiral, which obviously didn't pan out here. This is their map pick. They came into this and prepped specifically for this. So massive issues for FaZe today in the opening day of PGL Bucharest. 0 kills still on Frozen, 1 kill on Rain. Frozen and Rain on one team, and you only have 1 frag combined. That's a massive problem.
I love that double door smoke. The one that just lands on top of the door. That's
Aesthetically pleasing.
it's just perfect.
I know the guys back at EPL were working on Alex and Henry spent like an hour perfecting the double smoke dome off catwalk.
Smoke dome. I love the smoke dome, how that's become a part of the vocabulary.
Been memed into existence.
Some of the greatest gifts that Harry's given to the community. Here's Cadian. I thought he would have seen a little bit more of that. But great to turn the X-ray off and see what he really sees. Through mid they go. EliGE at the front of the attack. Molotov goes behind that CT smoke. There's a fight about to go down, and Yabby is the man to step up for it. Down gets one. Cadian's gone down, but Yabby making sure the trade is that. It's a little bit scary now for that B bomb site because there's no one there, no one inside of the B site. And you mentioned earlier retaking with the ops. Well, it's only device up at the moment, so it's 2 rifles at least still in play. And Stare coming in late mid. This could be huge because Brokey's stuck in a cage right now.
It's all about sound. If Stare gives a footstep away, oh nope, he's gonna clear it. He was very, very convinced. Now to B tunnels we go. Rain and Kerrigan to hold off 3 players retaking. There's only 1 smoke on Stare.
Lurk smoke thrown out, and Rain about to get aggressive to the window. They're both looking the wrong way, and so with Rain on the double, the round is done. Stare looking for heroics, but not going to be happening. Kerrigan to drop him with the Glock. They needed an extra round. At least FaZe have got it now, but a little bit more work to be done. 2 rounds left in this half. But back to winning ways. They put an end to the streak.
Really strong thrust in the middle from FaZe. Both B defenders outside the bomb site playing this, or one inside the bomb site. Beautiful shot from Kerrigan. Good trade through the smoke as well, reading the situation, but this is a thing of beauty. Rain set not play up for quite some time. Waiting for the little piece of attention that would take their attention away. Perfect double kill. Lead is cut to 4, but still in the favor heavily of Astralis.
Yeah, this is the half now for FaZe. They have to pick this one up. If they do, great opportunity to get 5 to close out. He can work with that. Kerrigan down mid with some speed. Cadian pinned, and okay, Kerrigan.
I'm amazed Cadian committed to that play after the op spotted him and took a shot.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been the signal to just be like, oh, play's not there, back away. But Cadian wanted to fight, and he's got his head ripped off. Now, Stare's in a strong position. He calls long clear. Nobody has to even think about long from the Astralis side of things. And he's got a timing of when he can wrap around and make a play. Mid-utility just coming in now. Missed Molotov to clear out close double doors. Device missed the timing, but Kerrigan missed the shots. And still no move from Stare in the long cave.
FaZe tried to run the short execute a couple of times, but got punished by the AWPs.
Oh,
deciding not to go for it here.
Surely Stare moves now. This has got to be the moment.
Stown just waiting. Oh, first bullet not accurate. Does well to at least get 1. Yabby stays at the back of the platform. They're going to heat things up, but he still stands in the same position. It's a double kill from Yabby. Here comes EliGE. Out through the smoke, and he gets caught by Device. Patience pays off. Nearly stops the bomb from getting across, but Brokey into the clutch.
EliGE gave you one earlier. Now Brokey's got to.
Oh, they pushed through so fast. They came through so fast. They didn't let Brokey get into a comfortable position at all. And they get back in that retake before it really even gets going.
Yeah, good round from Astralis. I actually thought that was going to be a lost affair considering how late that play was from Stare. I think that timing just got missed. Hard to read it when you're sitting in that cave. 8-3. Yeah.
How's the money looking, Jason, here for FaZe?
It's fine. They've got AKs. They've got utility. Just, man, Yabby steps up so big when they need him the most. EliGE gets distracted by footsteps at Xbox, so Device opens it up. Everything falling into place in the favor of Astralis today. Another dominant map thus far.
I like the aggression up top mid here for Stare. Looked like he's about to get a guaranteed opener on Kerrigan, but it doesn't go the way he would have anticipated or hoped. And he'll maintain his aggressive positioning. Kerrigan's actually going to get caught moving through that smoke, not by Stare, but by Device, who peered up into top middle.
I'm kind of amazed that Stare is still here. They know he's still here.
I'm just rooting for Frozen, man. Get your 1 in the end of this half.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Just get your 1.
Ooh, that's been rough.
This is it. He's going to get 1. He's going to get it, Jason.
I don't know, you got Devices off on one side, you got an awkward...
This is it.
There we go.
It's a win, a small W.
All right, doesn't matter what you do from here.
You didn't finish the half on 0. And his teammates now stepping forward into long. Yabi looking to make the most of this out from Goose. And, ooh, good dink onto the second player as well. It's Device's turn as he hops up and gets blasted by Brokey, leaving it all on Stout, who's going to give this one a good go. 1v3 to round out the half. And Brokey makes sure that it's 4 for FaZe. It's not a clean half. It's not fantastic, but at least something.
They recovered enough to give a little bit of hope. Yeah,
there we go.
Frozen. Yeah, baby.
We're all rooting for you.
You got to be proud of that one.
What do you see? He's going to have the best second half.
Yeah, it just pops off now. Well, he still seems happy. That's all you can ask for, you know?
Yeah, that one kill can make a big difference. Takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it's never fun hitting tab and seeing a 0.
No.
Like 10, 11 rounds in. That's never a good feeling. I myself have never experienced it, but I've been told. 8-4 going into the halftime break and the halftime swap. So FaZe will be defending, Astralis attacking in Cadian. Called a fantastic T-side on Ancient. So if that continues today and you have all the individuals from Astralis delivering for you, Device and Yabi with 12 kills apiece, Stown with 10, Stare with 11, everything's looking like Astralis should be able to close this one out.
Yabi just put his chair into lock-in mode.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, full forward tilt.
The Yabi lock-in?
Yep. He plays at a 45-degree angle forward.
Did he bring a protractor?
Yeah. EliGE does. Guarantee it. Guarantee he does. Gets that monitor in perfect angle. Second half underway. FaZe on the CT side. Device charging out long already. No one's there to even spot him, so he's got that position. FaZe electing to play short heavy instead. And FaZe have got info that it's going to be a long play, so they're going to try and bolster the defense here, ready to go against a heap of Astralis players coming towards them. Carrigan taking some challenges. EliGE to peek with him. So far, so good for FaZe. It's Brokey with the opening pick. It's just fighting.
Still a long way to go. Yep, and now the USP swing. And at range, they come out on top.
It's deathmatch, but it's all FaZe Clan at least. See? Frozen's off to the races, man. He doubled his kills in the first half and coming into the second.
True.
So.
And he was doing a little heat check there at the end with the long push as well. He was trying to see if he got it back.
All right, is this the start of a FaZe comeback?
It very well could be.
They've come back from worse. 3 rounds separate them now.
I mean, it's the same kind of vibe I had going into Ancient, which is like, I think both these teams are in like some weird spiral, obviously coming into the series today. Astralis in the first map show that they're kind of, at least today, having a very good glimpse. I haven't seen that same thing out of FaZe yet to make it believable, but we know with the struggles and inconsistencies of both teams, this half could come back quickly for FaZe, much like Ancient could have at one point. But did not. Buy back here for Astralis. They've invested, and oh no. FaZe lost one of these rounds on Ancient. Yeah. If you want to keep going back to the parallels.
Yeah. Let's see if it happens again. Frozen, they run right by him, and they line up perfectly. Oh, Stare though. Uh-oh. Double deke. And now Rain sits atop the smoke. And he drops down. Sound cue given away. Rain no longer with the element of surprise. They know exactly where he is. They're focusing on him. They're sending bullets through that smoke. He needed a bit of twinkle toes action, but Rain's a heavy man and he hits the ground.
I don't know how you win this if you're FaZe. You just get smoked off in double doors. You've got one flashbang on Carrigan. You've got no kits, and Rain's in tunnels with an MP9. He can't take any of these fights.
Yabi's on the hunt, chasing him down. And Yabi's finished him off. It's now Carrigan 1v3. Comes in with a big pick in the back of the platform, but look who's inside of the smoke. It's Cadian. And Carrigan dives down, no kit in his back, nor any utility to apply the pressure. Got the right read, but Cadian brings him down with a Tech 9. And unfortunately for FaZe, it strikes twice.
Yeah, all that thing we just talked about, of there being a chance they can bring this back, it's that losing a round like that makes it feel way less likely. That's a brutal way to drop a round. I'm gonna give more credit than anything. Obviously, Stare gets the kills, but the Cadian flashbang blinded Brokey for so long that Stare was able to turn around and kill the player close double doors before addressing the Brokey situation.
Yeah.
So shout out to Cadian for such a perfect flashbang.
And the shots as well.
The shots were nice as well.
Mid-aggression stopped. Frozen gets no further. EliGE, though, he gets to go on an adventure.
Fully invested this round is FaZe also. And with that mid push, Astralis is like, I'm just going to see if anything else is going on. And there goes EliGE. Stair finds him. Lovely couple of rounds he's had. Now up to 16 kills, Stair.
Yeah, the full investment is certainly important to note because a loss here and not much going into the next. There's an M4 picked up for Rain. Very centered view model for Brokey.
Everyone's doing it. All the cool kids, Dinko.
Yeah,
all the cool kids are changing their view model.
Let's see. Big swing from Carrigan. Not able to connect. Stal making sure that the AK penetrates the FaZe in-game leader.
Don't you want to be a cool kid too?
Yeah, I want to try it, but I would... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it later, Jason. I'm going to switch,
Nice.
see how it feels. But Rain doesn't. He's a left-handed gamer. Look at that. He's doing damage. He's got a double. You're leaving a third kill on his Star, but this is too much to ask of Mr. Rain. Got to be a save.
Has to be. And even that's not going to give you a whole lot to work with. Full investment in this round. FaZe losing bonus not completely built up either. And then you're looking at 5-10 and making a decision of, do we save for a full buy or do we just keep hoping we can win one of these forces? Stair looks like he ain't going to let this one go, though. 10-5. Astralis 3 rounds away from closing out this series. Winning the trilogy of matches in 2025, FaZe Astralis, 1 each so far.
Still a better trilogy than Twilight, Jason. Not as good as any other trilogy, though.
No, it's probably better than the newest Star Wars sequel.
I didn't even watch that.
Or sequel trilogy, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, not much gets worse than that, Jason.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Let's just forget about them. 10-5. I'm still waiting for FaZe to have some extended fight back in them. Some like 5-round run, 4-round run where it just looks like they've gotten back in action.
Doesn't feel like that's going to happen today.
No, but that's the FaZe thing.
You gotta, yeah, they have you at the very, you give up on them and then suddenly they're back.
No, just like I mean, look, this is going up over the past like 2 or 3 years, but you know, the hardest team to put away in Counter-Strike, they always had one last battle back in them.
Haven't done it with EliGE. Haven't done it with EliGE. That's a whole new thing. Does he have the mentality for that? For the big FaZe comebacks? I feel like that was very funny at the start of the year when Carrigan was saying, you know, EliGE sometimes doesn't thrive in the overtime chaos. You know, he's just kind of getting used to the FaZe way of playing.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one of the things, having worked with EliGE, that I thought would be tough. I still thought it would have gone much easier and much smoother than this, but definitely EliGE is a player who kind of has his almost like decision tree. He likes to have things like mapped out. He likes to, you know, have like kind of an organized train of thought. So yeah, the chaos, it's not his cup of tea, we'll say.
Everything's burning around him. He's just trying to put the pieces together. Here goes Carrigan. He's out of there. So just 30 seconds left in this round. Astralis making sure that they keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah, but once again, Cadian's calling circles around him. Because, I mean, it's gone so quiet, and FaZe kind of have a right idea of what you see out of some Cadian calling is rotate over to the other side of the map, but you get that follow-up push, and it's bring everyone back to long and stroll into the bomb site. 11th round on the board for Astralis, and this M4 in the hands of Rain will move forward into the next round as well. And then you have the last buy of FaZe, essentially.
So Astralis get to win this match at PGL events. FaZe get to win this at the Blast events. You know, that's how it's going so far.
And there's been 2 PGL events and only 1 Blast.
So Astralis, they're up. They're winning. Not over yet, but it feels like it is.
Terrorists win.
Round 17.
Pretty relaxing day at the office today for Rugga.
Yeah, although to be fair, it's like, you know, when you say that about a coach, for every like easy day in the office they have on a match day, there's like 10 apocalyptic days of practice that need to be paid before you get that reward.
Yep. They just don't turn up and stand behind them. There's a lot of other work.
Like his hard days have been every other day than the match day.
Rug is only 17 years old.
Ooh.
Rain back of the site. Here's Frozen out towards Car. Flashes up into the sky, and Frozen ready to mow them down. Gets a double, but Cadian shows he can do that as well. Into the B-bomb site, and ooh, you hate retaking B.
It's a classic change of pace out of a timeout. And you do it at a moment where, oh, FaZe, you feel like you're pressured to go for this.
Yeah, you want to see if there's a way in, but there's just so much utility left for Astralis.
And you're competing for the series, right? Otherwise, you're fighting for overtime.
Yeah, and that's a long way off.
But you have one kit and very little utility, and you're scoped out.
Flash has to come in, has to be perfect. Brokey throws the flashbang in. Ixtown is blinded by it. The flash is in fact perfect. And Device once again asks to clutch for Astralis. Goes to the Glock, and it's not enough to put an end to them. FaZe come back in. Brilliant flash from Brokey, and they get their way into the retake.
Yeah, everyone's so blind inside that B-bomb site. Someone wasn't playing anti well enough. That timed flash, so unfortunate for the Astralis defense, but it gives a little bit of life over to FaZe. It keeps that door cracked open ever so slightly that they can still win this map and take us to 3. They've held Astralis off 12 for the moment. Device is going to have the ult back in his hands. Plenty of money for everyone to get AK-47s, so we aren't done yet. But you've got to hope that's the sign from FaZe that breathes some of that fight back in them. Pretty chill timeout music.
Yeah, I'm kind of vibing to it.
And I think it just restarted. I think we got back-to-back timeouts. So we're just gonna keep hanging out on this. Yeah.
It's kind of stressing me out that the secret lab pillow is upside down.
Yeah, is that triggering something in you? Yeah.
Might need to get that checked, Jason.
Pause the game. Rain,
please, someone fix it.
Turn that pillow around right now. Here we go towards long. Yabby and Cadian to lead the way out. They're getting real aggressive, real fast-paced, running through the Molotov as well, and spraying. Yabby in position, gets one. Cadian can't trade that off. He's out of ammunition, and he's stuck behind the smokes. A brawl to take long control. It's Astralis's in a 1-for-1 trade. Now, here's the difference. Let's watch how this plays out, because in the first half, when things like this happened, Astralis was getting aggressive in B tunnels, aggressive in middle, finding flanks. FaZe standing pat for the moment until that kill and information comes out.
Yeah, and now Brokey just smokes himself off at the car to make sure that he can stay alive and keep the pressure up. Doing a good job so far. Astralis fully committed towards long. Initially happy with the back and forth, but now they've been stalled out.
They've been stalled out, and unlike what we've seen from Astralis throughout the 2 maps so far today, they've got no lurk, they've got no extra player elsewhere on the map to give them a second option. Everyone came long.
And there's too much space on the map that could have been taken by FaZe to feel comfortable to fall back and send a player into mid. Now, they are very much committed to this long play right now.
If you're Astralis at this point, I feel like in the back of your head, you're like, you know you've lost this round. Like, no round is truly out of reach ever.
But the percentage chance is very low.
You feel like you can't go back because you have no information and no one there.
That helps.
You feel like you can't necessarily go forward. Yeah, you clear Brokey out. You have 1 smoke to cross over.
20 seconds.
I think they're just backing off.
Yeah, because they can't get the ball into the site
almost like they're trying to execute a late split up catwalk. This is crazy.
Well, they won't make it in time. So at least they go down before the time. Device is going to come back, try and hang on to the AWP, but they're already applying pressure towards top middle. Device able to pick off Frozen. Needs to be careful here. Only has $250 in the bank.
Yeah, but that's why I almost think saving would have been the better option. You have those weapons, replenish a little bit of utility. Couple players can force buy around it because they haven't built up the losing bonus to anything significant. I think it was 1900. So you could have had another essentially 3 rifle rounds while that losing bonus builds a little bit bigger. But now we'll see what they can pull out around this. They buy anyways. Op, AK-47 on Cadian, 2 Tech 9s and a Deagle for Astralis in round 19. And if you're FaZe, you love this force buy. You're like, this is our way back in. We've strung a couple together now, getting a little bit of confidence.
You got one. Still managed to get a headshot. Not bad from KD. It looked like he was about to be blasted away without a single frag. But
And you're saying playing against the low buy is very nice to make this comeback continue.
especially if Brokey can win this duel, and it's flash off of the angle, so Device wins the battle for the space without even needing to ring off a shot. Brokey repositions to watch the mid play. And he might get there just in time. He actually pushes through the smoke. I don't know if they're going to be ready for this, but Flash forces him back into CT. Nice shot from Brokey. Wanting to go again, but gets in behind the cover.
That's such a nice rotation from Brokey. That's the kind of shit that makes him such a strong player. Ignoring the A bomb site, the extra seconds of not sticking around, of making that decision so quickly, allow him to step in front of the smoke and deny the space, rather than just kind of harass through the smoke. Perfect decision from Brokey, and Device can do nothing but save the op again. FaZe's defense looks like it's coming online. It's now 3 in a row.
Damn, Frozen's had 10 kills in this half.
Well, you said after that one in the first, he was going to pop off.
Yeah, there was all the signs pointing towards that.
It's a big difference playing with 5 players.
Well, Device doesn't have the bomb on his back. If he did, you can give him a shot in this scenario, but can't even get towards it.
No, but taking guns away is valuable.
Taking his gun away would be even more valuable to FaZe.
Oh, no, this one's going to be brutal.
Oh, 3 seconds. Oh, my God. Device, he has $250. That's it. That's all he's got. $250 in the bank. No AWP saved. Disastrous for Device.
He needed that first one. First one, and he might have been able to survive. Yeah, brutal. And now, I mean, that just compounds the decision to force buy in that previous round. Astralis, for as good as they've called their T-halves today on Ancient and now on Dust2, a couple mistakes in how they've chosen to buy have put them in a really weird economic situation. That's making it just a little bit easier for FaZe to make this comeback happen.
Burning. And
What?
suddenly not burning. He's found himself the perfect corner. Protected. Carrigan spots that Yabby's still over towards blue. And Yabby gets away. Really dancing with death in this round, but able to compete. I like the idea from Device, but
It's ambitious.
I don't think we're going to see anybody from FaZe come through the mid doors.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone's going to be pushing anytime soon. You need a kill to force a play like that.
EliGE. Not overstepping the mark.
All right, so it's towards Kerrigan that we go with the AK-47 out towards long. There's no way.
Here they come. Carrigan ready to mow them down. Powers up the lawnmower. Cuts down the grass. Frozen's there with Device. And it's clean from Carrigan. It's clean from FaZe. And the comeback is here.
Yeah, now they're within 2. 4 in a row for FaZe on this CT side. And if you're Astralis, you're feeling like all that swagger you had earlier in the half has just slipped away, drifted out of control. They need 2 more to close out this series. They take a timeout to talk things over, try and recover, because the last 4 rounds have been all FaZe.
Well, maybe not as relaxing now for Rugga.
Yeah, less relaxing.
Scout for Device. Never nice. That's that damage from the previous round, dying with only $250 in the bank. Well, if we need to go to
Third map, it's Train.
a third, yeah, Train would be really exciting to see that.
It would be a very cool decider.
FaZe won 13-7 when they played that at in Lisbon.
Yeah. Cadian blinded and smoked. No long presence for Astralis in the early going of this round. Brokey boosted up on Catwalk to peer in towards lower, but doesn't get the timing. Astralis still lined up with 4 players outside of long A. 1 player, Yabby, just lurking in the upper B tunnels. And a simple call from Astralis. They want to take long. They'll get control for free. But the last time they tried this with 4 players, they got stalled out very far back and could make no progress onto the bomb site.
That's where Yabby's role perhaps becomes more important.
Yeah, they didn't have this. They didn't have Yabby last time.
Yeah, well, he might just die to EliGE. Yep, so EliGE sees him using utility, realizes he's got a chance just to take a straight up fight. Wins it easily. Now they no longer have that flank, and 4 players committed long with nowhere to go. So looking like FaZe are going to grab 10 here. Device making sure that the fight is still had. He'll pick up an AK-47 and commit into the long fight. Frozen's here now. Brokey's with him in the bomb site. 39 seconds on this clock. Brokey to peek into the open. Stavn down. Oh, Frozen with him, and it is collapse. Utter collapse for Astralis. They have disappeared on the T side. FaZe are back in a big way, and now the gap is 1 round, and Astralis don't have heaps of cash. Like, this is FaZe suddenly grabbing control, and we are very likely now in a position where we can go to a 3rd map.
There's a slew, I think, of poor decisions in like across 2 or 3 rounds that have decimated Astralis' economy. I think you could probably put them in like the Counter-Strike textbook of how not to like close out a game. The decision to try and do that late split up Catwalk, losing 2 AK-47s, then force buying around the 1 saved AWP. Like, all these things have given FaZe, you know, 3 rounds of ease of which they could get some of their feel back. They could get their game back to them, and it's obviously working because they're just racking up rounds in a row now. It's what, 5 straight for FaZe?
Here's Stair. Deagle. Oh, okay, that can definitely help matters, but Device goes down a car, and they need to get that bomb across. Stair, oh, somehow still alive, but EliGE eventually finishes him off. Stavn still fragging. Astralis still in a 2v3. Make it 2v2. The Deagle's not stopping. And this would be a devastating way to stop the comeback for FaZe. Brokey goes through with a USP in hand, and Kading with 4 bullets in his gun. He runs out to the Deagle instead, and the USP comes out on top.
Yeah, but that's sketchy for FaZe. They're getting into, they're taking that battle through and around all the smokes and all the insanity, and that's taking away a lot of the advantage of those rifles. So the Deagles of Astralis almost turned that round in their favor. We're tied up at 11. It took a long time for FaZe to make this a game, but they have done it. Round 23, we're tied up in the hands of Device and Brokey's as well. But Astralis' T-side, as you mentioned, has gone cold.
Here's Brokey peeking into short. Yabby down. Stair swung on by EliGE. Bomb spotted and dropped. FaZe about to body bag Astralis here on Dust2 and grab map point first. Hardly anybody saw that coming.
No, not, I mean, look, FaZe just started playing Counter-Strike about 6 rounds ago, so it kind of makes sense. Device is going to lead the way in this 3v5. Would love to find a pick peering into the A bomb site. EliGE has taken the op. All 3 defenders are going to move out towards long A where Kadian lurks, but it gives the open avenue to Device.
And Device is going to try and maximize that, but EliGE right through the baskets. Device's head torn right off. And FaZe to grab map point, but in spectacular fashion with all 5 players looking to stay alive here. A bomb plant will be secure for Stavn. So him and Kadian have to combine to pull this back, and Stavn just couldn't do it. Kadian on the double, but the bomb's so far away. He's got a molly.
It should be done by the time that molly comes
that's
in, although it's
true.
Brokey with low HP.
No, it's already done. And yeah, Brokey got away with 1 tick. So FaZe, map point. What a comeback. You were right. You can never count out FaZe. No matter how dire it looks, they always find a way.
It's good to see. Like, I'm not even joking when I say like they just started playing Counter-Strike 6 rounds ago. Like the FaZe that we saw before that was
gone. Just not here.
They weren't pushing back. They weren't denying space. Individuals were quiet. We had that first half out of Frozen where he had 1 kill. He's got 13 in this second half. Rain was on, what, like 3 kills at the end of the first half as well. He's now on 9. So, look, it's not great. It's not pretty. We said this coming into this series. It wasn't going to be the prettiest series of Counter-Strike. But it's nice that FaZe have finally showed up and are looking like they can steal this map away from Astralis. And then it puts the whole series into question as we enter Train. Let's see if they can close out here in round 24. Cadian's calling has been so good today, but he's been stumped in this most recent stretch of rounds. He's lost the magic.
The best they can hope for now is overtime. Brokey not able to connect that opening. In fact, he takes damage on board, down to 48 HP, but he goes back again in classic Brokey fashion, doesn't give up, and Device cast aside.
Oh, and he's got one more crack shot at the bomb as well. Sees the utility coming up, blind shot into the door, felt like it was very close.
And he's not giving up again, gives another go.
Look, Stair's been sharp, we should say. We saw some clean shots from the Deagle, immediate one-bullet headshots. He's been really solid in openers. He's been right there with Device throughout this map. So if someone's going to create the opportunity, feels like Stair in this position is looking for the chance.
And off he goes. Up through short, EliGE. Hands busy, utility coming in. Oh, this is the play. He dives down into CT spawn and Brokey's gone. EliGE forced into the open with a fire at his feet, but still gets one. Bomb loose on the ground at short side. 20 seconds to pick it up. Yabby and Stown combining together. Bomb plant coming in. It's all on Carrigan to close this map out. He could do it if he clutches up in the 1v2. Head spotted in the sight. Damage done. Stown already low. And Carrigan fighting on two fronts. He's got it down. It's just one bullet required. And Stown hides. Just cowers away. Keeps his head away from the fight against Carrigan. Both of them one bullet from death. And Carrigan gets into the sight. It's the defuse being stuck. Stown not going, not buying it. Carrigan stops it. He came off it, and he gets taken out. It's overtime. Carrigan gives it up. He had it in the palm of his hand, and Carrigan stops the defuse.
Oh, have you seen anything like it? He had that 10 times over. You're that deep in the defuse. Oh, a brutal way to end it from such an experienced player. 12-12, we've got overtime.
FaZe Clan really are paid by the round, it seems. He's just like, yeah, I want a few more rounds here. This is crazy. Carrigan had it.
Stown is so happy as well. This is such a tough clutch for him to be in. Red HP and CT spawn, bomb not planted for you. He got a gift.
Oh, here we go. Overtime. Day one of PGL Bucharest 2025, and FaZe giving us some more entertainment. Flash into short. Astralis given a lifeline to try and close this series
I
up 2-0.
can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Lurk smoke over at the B-bomb site gonna make them nervous. FaZe looking for that change-up that they experienced earlier on, that B-rush out of a timeout that completely destroyed them. They're looking for that switch-up because they've done a great job of stopping Astralis at the A-bomb site, at long, at catwalk, at middle. Everything's been shut down. So they're expecting the change-up.
Ooh. Charge through mid. Here goes Yabby. Cadian able to respond. Here comes Stown straight through that B smoke, and he's still fighting, still alive. Eventually gets his kill on Brokey. 40 seconds on the clock. Bomb plant coming in now for Astralis.
Rain's
still at B. How is he still here? Finally taken out. They come through the smoke and CT spawn. Device is good for one, and Stair's got the other.
All right, it's getting a little scrappy now.
Oh yeah, it's real scrappy.
Getting a little bit crazy. Nice hard-fought round from Astralis. A good split. Cadian got a nice call in there. An extended attack into the B bomb site from middle. But once again, finding a couple different solutions. Back-to-back rounds, we've seen Stair drop off catwalk, this time taking control of CT spawn, preventing rotations from the A-bomb site. And Astralis putting it together again, 13-12. Double up on the T side, but with that round victory, I mean, Cadian can drop back and pick up an AK-47 and T-spawn if he wants. He wanted to go for the long spawn and take advantage of that. We'll see if he has an AK-47 to switch into.
Eventually, finishes off the kill on Cadian.
Cadian never saw anyone cross over, so I think looks silly from our perspective, but he never knew EliGE was in pit, so it just looks a little bit crazy as he jumps out. Carrigan swaps into the op.
You know what's crazy? We're still on this map, Jason.
If Astralis want to hit a decent timing into this B bomb site, they have to disrespect the smoke.
Yeah, well, let's see if they do that and they get ready to go. Here they come, straight through it. Rain at the window. Ooh, misfires. Now it's Frozen's turn. Back of the car, delivers the first to Flying Yabby. Oh, no way. Yep, flying through the sky, lands the headshot with the AK-47. And Astralis into the B bomb site, bomb down 3v3. Just absolutely ridiculous at the moment.
Hey, FaZe won a fantastic retake in a 3v3 at this bomb site earlier in the half. We'll see if they can do it again, or actually in regulation.
Device waiting for the B play to come through, and he looks away at the wrong time, and so EliGE can move through. Here come FaZe again. That's the opening they need, and then suddenly all the rest of the kills just line up. And Device is going to be so mad.
Yeah, because it's like, why?
A lot of whys.
I feel like I asked that question a lot, but like you have door cover, you have window covered.
Yeah.
The only thing you don't have covered once he looks away is tunnels, which he was watching previously. So what's the call? Did you feel like you were exposed to window in that position? Did you feel like someone didn't have you covered? Is there a miscomm of some kind? Did you just think it was clear because the timing, the sense of timing you had was missed? Couple miscues from the two most experienced players in the server of Kerrigan and Device. That is a shitty way to miss a smoke as the B defender.
Yeah, and oh god.
Because you just know, you miss that smoke and you're like, oh, they're going to attack.
They're going to try and use this now, aren't they? And Yabby absolutely wants to do so. Has been spotted. Rain now prime, moves into the open. Frozen's done well. Device is gone. Couple of back-to-back frustrating rounds here for Device. Carrigan's turn to try and step up, but Cadian wins that duel as Carrigan goes down to Longhouse. And ooh, we're looking at Baroki having to drop back behind Car.
Not a whole lot of people here, though, for Astralis. I don't think they have the resources that they'd like to clear out the car position. They don't even have a Molotov. It's coming late in the hands of Yabby, but Baroki got a clean shot, missed it. Support from the bomb site, and now Astralis is running out of options.
Stare trying to fight short. That was often a recipe to get back into these rounds, but it doesn't go their way. And nice shots from Baroki to close it out. FaZe up 14-13 to turn on the CT half, and yeah, it's a strong enough position to try and close out here.
That's what I'm saying, Dinko. FaZe is playing Counter-Strike now. Everyone stepped up. That second half from Frozen, 18 kills in the half alone. You add on to that, Baroki and EliGE, 23 and 22 kills across the map. Kerrigan's got 18 frags over towards Long A on that CT side. I mean, this is FaZe actually giving us these last 10 rounds or so, where previously they hadn't even felt like they've been in the server.
Weren't in Bucharest yet. But now they are. Damage down through the smoke. Cadian down to 48 HP. They'll send a grenade through to try and finish him off, but not impactful.
Double op setup did lovely things for Astralis and their CT side regulation. I imagine they switch into it if they win this first round of overtime.
If they don't lose too many players. Economic concerns in overtime, certainly a thing.
Especially if you double up.
Here goes Device. Grenade could land right on top of Baroki. Stare looking to block Long. Got enough vision to toss the smoke out as we go under 1 minute 53 seconds left on this clock.
You're going to have Device watching the cross, but there's going to be smokes put up in his way.
Mixed success in regulation for FaZe as they went for short hits. Stown and Carrigan. It's going to be Carrigan on top of that fight. Frozen to win his. Now 3v5 to flip back here for Astralis in the dying embers of the round. Device has gone back to try and figure out, can he deal with Frozen? And that bomb plant is in. So for Astralis, this round's already done. And no Device saving over into the next either with that AWP, and Carrigan trying to make sure they cannot save it all.
It's all good. I mean, yeah, if this is regulation, you're saving this round 100% of the time.
But it's already done. You mean
in overtime, they didn't even have a chance to go for it, even if they wanted to.
So we're looking at 15-13. FaZe back to map point again. The train yards await if FaZe can just win one of the next two here.
Nice cleanup from FaZe down the stretch. Just as the bomb goes off. 2 chances to close out the map, and as you mentioned, take us to train as a third decider. And there's the double up setup from Astralis. Not brought out of the round victory, but brought out of desperation. Kerrigan just had better timing than Stown in that fight, but Frozen does God's work out towards long. That late engagement with Stare.
2 rounds needed in a row here for Astralis just to get us into overtime 2. Here goes Frozen, quick out long, committed to the side of the smoke, and no one from Astralis challenging.
Yeah, a lot of control early on. You've got mid Xbox control, you force back the catwalk defense, you have long control. Astralis need to make a decision right now if they're going to re-aggress long, re-aggress catwalk, or shift towards middle and B and push it. Now they are pushing B with Device and Yabby.
EliGE is going to catch the perfect timing though. Ooh. Both kills. Huge from EliGE, and that should be it. Those 2 kills have put FaZe in a position of absolute power to close this out. Stown will do what he can, but you need a classic Cadian clutch just to keep them in this. He knows that EliGE was around the tunnels. He's going to have a look for him now. Cadian goes into the fight. Good timing. EliGE looking the wrong way, and Cadian gets that kill, but at least information. And Cadian's going to run, wasting no time to get to long. And that quick play, that quick decision to get long, this might work out for Cadian. He could get himself into a 1v1 fight here, but Brokey planting over to the left side for short has locked Cadian out of a powerful spot here, and a flash comes in, now spots him. Grenade goes in, Cadian with 3 bullets, this time reloads. He'll play this with a rifle, but with Brokey on the angle and Frozen just above him, it's pretty much done here. Cadian's gonna give it one good go, but FaZe will step up and they get themselves back into Dust2. We wanted a few extra rounds, Kerrigan ensured overtime, but they get the job done regardless.
Well. If you had come to me at halftime and said we were going to the decider, I would have laughed at you because FaZe looked dismal. They were able to pull it.
FaZe won this map train against Astralis back in Lisbon 13-7. So got some experience beating them on it as well. And now we'll see what happens when the teams have had some time to kind of rebound, look at things, and come back to it.
I think in particular today, I've enjoyed watching Stare. I think he's looked really sharp.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah, his deagle's been sharp, his rifle's been looking sick. But here we go, to the rainy train yards. It's going to be FaZe starting on the CT side, Astralis on the T side for a final map of play. Quick outside push. It's going to be Stown leading the charge past the right train to the E-box and putting the pressure on. No one from FaZe giving fights over. They just hide, cower away.
Yeah, and Stown knows where that next peek is going to come from. Oh, they've actually ran all the way through to Pop Dog to inside. And now they're going to go back because look at the defense shifting. And Astralis just know they've got FaZe completely fooled. They've got him on a string and they're pulling him back and forth. Smoke down for Z. Kerrigan locked out and should be a bomb plant for Astralis.
Yeah, with that smoke going down, that's ruined the plans of Kerrigan, but he constructs a new one. He goes through the smoke, he denies the plant, and now it's back on. EliGE with a clean shot. Bomb is not planted, and Astralis have to fight back again. No. Yabby didn't get the kill. EliGE goes back to it, and no way, Astralis. They've let this one go. Somehow, FaZe have fought themselves back into a position where they're about to close out this pistol, but Stare can still win it. And with that kill on Kerrigan, he's got time, and he knows that pick will have rotated EliGE, so he goes back and plants on default. This round has been all over the map, but it comes down to the 1v1.
Stare put himself in a position to win this. Like, if you come out of this bomb site to go for this retake as EliGE to find the defuse, you've got so many angles to worry about.
EliGE comes back through connector already. Sound cue. Stare knows. EliGE has no kit. Time will run thin. Stare spotted. EliGE chasing him down, but all Stare needs to do is stay alive. Time is so far gone. EliGE has got the kill, and he's gonna get to the defuse. Fantastic round from EliGE. He flips it back in FaZe's favor, and it looked like Astralis had it locked in at many points throughout that first round.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, they had FaZe completely fooled and rotating to the wrong bomb site, and they're trying to plant the bomb with 4 players alive, but nobody's actually covering the planter. Nobody's actually covering the most obviously play in that situation, which is someone walking through the Z-smoke to stop the defuse. And this ruins the round. It ruins everything good Astralis had done up to that point. You add into some fantastic EliGE shooting, and that's why you got FaZe winning the pistol, and Cadian's got to be frustrated after that.
Well, the bomb plant comes in, so you know when the pistol round is that close. That force buy is too tantalizing not to go and grab. Stare on the AK. Everybody else on pistols. Not seeing too much. That smoke very tall. The only angle you can actually see is if anybody's playing on top of the train, which you don't see all that often. Rain's going to move in towards T-Con. And he's got a really solid position here for the late round.
I'm really interested in what Astralis is going to try and do with the Hero AK-47. They had that boost up in towards T-Mid earlier, but now just getting repeatedly smoked off, and they don't really have any idea of what to do while this smoke is up. They don't want to spend the time walking all the way down towards Ivy and challenging there, not with only a minute left on the clock. You don't want to send your forces all the way inside, then you're pretty committed. So you're stuck kind of waiting out this utility, and this AK better have impact real quick.
Yeah, Cadian tries to fake some steps going up towards brown holes, but they're going to stay committed, and Rain's position is just huge. It's hard to see a world in which he doesn't get at least one kill here. And if it's the AK, then it's disastrous, and it is in fact the AK-47 followed up. And the USP doing damage onto a third player. Stal can't hold that AK, has to send it over to his teammate with higher health, and it's not much higher. And Brokey makes sure it doesn't matter anyway. So the force buy for Astralis gets cancelled out by the aggressive play into T-Main, and it's huge. So this FaZe Clan go 2-0 up. Astralis are out of money. They didn't even challenge for a bomb plant or any kills. So an ideal start to the CT side here for FaZe.
Absolutely. It couldn't go much better. You got to be loving this, getting out to a hot start, building up some money early on. You know this is going to be a really easy buy to mow down. So yeah, FaZe is loving this for the moment. They've had success in pistol rounds all throughout the day. It was the gun rounds that have mostly let them down. So we'll see what happens when Astralis bring 4 or 5 AK-47s into the fight. But for now, FaZe looking real good. 2-0. And only a few deagles to really talk about with the Astralis side of things.
Here's Rain. There goes Stare. Cadian tosses the bomb back to safety, but I don't think there's much safety to be had here. Rain, he could even get a boost up, but with the presence being spotted. Oh! Okay, Stone, that was unexpected. A second D shot rings out. Now Brokey under a little bit of pressure. He's being pushed by multiple players. He's going to handle it very well, though. Double kill, and EliGE has the close.
Yeah, good to see Brokey playing this strong, and if this continues throughout the game, this is going to be exponentially more difficult map for Astralis to win than either of the previous two. Brokey can be such an X factor, and he's looking crisp. Almost got a little bit sketchy there for FaZe. Took a few more losses than they would have liked, but plenty of money for rebuys, and the M4s up in the hands of Brokey. AK-47 on Rain. Going into this first gun round, it's all AKs for Astralis' attack.
So a quick charge up into the brown hole, so he can apply pressure to Frozen, tosses out the utility, but it's just a smoke. It isn't going to slow them down. They're just going to run right through it. And so Frozen cast aside, and the bomb site opened up entirely. Astralis called a B-rush, and it's effective.
And it might end up just being a save, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, definitely with that kill. Now it's a save. I was going to say the only thing that maybe not, maybe they rotate around through CT spawn, get a new angle on it. Kerrigan's going to upgrade to an AK-47. Astralis have their first round on the board, and they're going to try and take guns away at the end. Yabby already hunting for weapons, and already close by at 6 train. He's going to hear these footsteps. And this is a brutal timing I don't think they're going to expect. Oh, well, Brokey will.
Yeah, Brokey expected it big time.
All right, you lose a round, but no major issues, no harm in the long term. Money is still very strong. Kerrigan's going to have, what, like $8,000 after this? Yeah, pops off. So Frozen can get an easy drop.
Yeah, if anything, it's maybe a wake-up call for Frozen. That's a possibility.
That little B-rush?
Yeah.
We know Cadian's going to like mixing some of those up into his calling. He's going to have, he had a couple on Ancient as well, had a couple on Dust2. Just a few really fast-paced rounds thrown into the mix. Can be brutal. That one to devastating effect. 3-1.
And they come towards Brokey. In fact, they're going to dodge that idea and go in towards Pop Dog. It's going to be Cadian at the front of this attack.
It's a 3-man stack towards inside. FaZe wanted to shut down any attempt to control Brown Halls from Astralis, and they can also set themselves up for like a mid-round push. Device didn't spot any of that aggression, didn't see Frozen along the left wall.
No, EliGE about to be mollied. He's going to have to fall back. The reaction is to send Brokey forward, but Device does very well to handle the pressure from 3 players.
And they're making their move off that information. Cadian's already out. He sees the gun barrel, calling out one's over in hell, one in Z. EliGE caught off guard, but still alive for the fight.
Rain waiting to activate, his teammates stepping up, but Yabby goes back to the information that Cadian picked up earlier, and so Rain is gone. 4v4, Astralis still trying to get in towards the bomb site.
The X Factor is going to be Kerrigan. Oh, beautiful. Kerrigan's still alive, though. He's taken the position of Rain over towards Hell, and he's been spotted. Extended spray, and the bomb is bailed out. It's towards the inner bomb site where FaZe have no standing, no presence.
Yeah, and Kerrigan's going to back in towards Yabby. So no shot, no opportunity here at all. And Astralis go ahead and get themselves a second. Back-to-back rounds, 1 B hit. And following up with this finish on the A bomb site.
Well, well, well. A little bit of calling magic back in Cadian's hands. It went a little quiet on Dust2 down the stretch.
Just couldn't find the final round to get them over the line.
That's the real bummer about it, is he called such a good series all through Ancient. We'll see what he does on Train for the first half of Dust2, and it's just like, oh, well, we still lost the map. Got him chipping away at this FaZe lead, and not only in terms of the numbers at the top of the screen, but in terms of the money as well. All that cash that was built up just last round to kind of spread the wealth is dwindling quickly. Kerrigan would likely invest in another AWP and pass that over to Brokey. But FaZe going to be running out of funds after this buy.
Device running out towards the pick at main and gonna miss it due to the flash. EliGE is gonna go down, and so Astralis still have the opening pick, but drawn back from Brokey.
Ooh.
Cadian's gonna get his troops back up into the brown holes. Yabby's already deep. Frozen didn't handle the pressure when it was thrown at him quickly.
He's got Brokey here this time, though, watching his upper right. You've got at least a little bit of backup to help you out, take some of the pressure off.
Brokey is just going to lie in wait. Minute 5. There's the calm before the storm, and here comes Astralis storming down the B ramp. Frozen gone again, and Brokey blinded. And that's the B bomb site taken by Astralis.
And Brokey needs to get the hell out.
He's trying to back away, and he will do so eventually. But Astralis have won this round. That's 3 rounds in a row on the T side. FaZe having to save. And so far, so good now that the guns have come out here for Astralis.
Yeah, really, really nice hit from Astralis. Good execute, a little bit of utility. Swinging on Frozen, finding that. Follow-up utility to blind Brokey. Nice layers implemented from Astralis in an easy round as they tie things up. But still, these wins haven't been so convincing that FaZe run out of resources. They've been able to save a number of weapons, so next round is going to have danger in it as well. I'm curious what Frozen and EliGE will decide to go for around the AWP and 2 M4s. But FaZe still have a chance to turn this around before their economy gets completely busted. And a timeout from FaZe. Probably not too much tactically. I think a lot of it will be talking through the money of how they want to play this round, if they want to invest around it. But Astralis have put out a statement of 3 round wins in a row on the T side of Train.
A little reminder, 13-4 opening map on Ancient. Looked like it was going to be a similar result on Dust2. FaZe woke up, brought it back, 16-13 win. Now we're here on train.
I think Dust2 was 11-5 at one point, or 11-6 at one point, something along those lines, in the favor of Astralis.
And then suddenly, FaZe is back in the game.
And then FaZe showed up. Initial barrage of utility to slow down the fast plays. Tons of flashes to dissuade members of both teams from pushing forward. Deagle on EliGE and Deagle on Frozen, the two weapons to surround the saved rifles.
Astralis doing a great job at the moment of, having early pressure, but feels like they're so in control throughout the whole round. Outside execution being set up, device gonna smoke, and flash ready to go over the top here. And in the meantime, with not even needing to go around the corner, a pick's already come in from Star. Brokey making sure that FaZe stay even on the numbers, but 1 minute left. There's still plenty of time here for Astralis. Just not a whole heap of utility. We're talking one MongolZ, one HE grenade. Gotta hope that there's a good timing to create some space, perhaps create some panic, and that could come from Stown if he activates out Ivy. Does only have EliGE on the other side, he only has a Deagle. There's no mistakes coming in here from FaZe, no aggression into the scope of device.
They still have Brokey's op phase, which is why you're not seeing them do anything crazy. They want a chance for that op to have some impact. Brokey's playing back of bomb train with it. Tough part is he's got no teammates over towards Ivy. EliGE is coming back in to close that gap just now to allow Brokey to focus forward, but it's just a Deagle. So trade. Stown gets EliGE, but Brokey gets Yabby.
Karrigan's pushed B, and he's got up to Pop Dog pretty quick here on the flank. So Brokey's under pressure, but Karrigan could still be a piece to think about. 9 seconds, bomb down thanks to Karrigan. They got to pick it up. They got to get on the plant, and Stown is going to do it with just enough time. There goes Karrigan, and he can't win the fight against Device at E-Box. So 4 rounds in a row here for Astralis' T side.
Yeah, really cool though. FaZe almost putting that together with Brokey at the bomb train, the flank from Karrigan. That could have been a really cool situation for them to come out on top of, but well done from Astralis, negating all those positions. Stown closing the gap on Karrigan at the end as well, not giving him any room to work with. So 4-3, 1 round lead for Astralis. And a double op setup picked up by FaZe's defense going into round 8.
Device slowly dropping and slowly creeping forward. Karrigan and Frozen almost in tandem get 2 opening kills here for FaZe Clan. Being able to respond to the 1 pick from Star, and it looks like that streak of round wins is going to come to a close here for Astralis.
We'll see. Frozen has had a tough time at the center bomb site. Thankfully, Brokey's able to grab 1 up top. Yabby can't slow play that kind of upper lurk like he did previously. Stown not working up the courage to turn the corner, and Frozen don't even need to be involved this time. 50 seconds left on the clock. Stown at 15 HP. This will be FaZe tying things up.
Brokey's having a great game. 12-3 at the moment. He's just been all over the place. Great rotations to the B bomb site to support Frozen. Fantastic work on the A bomb site.
They got out to a hot start. It's been continuing for sure. Stown just looking to try and save this. Oh.
Ray's always so good at those wall bangs, man.
Stown thought he was done. He's like, all right. Now it's just that one little burst.
I like that. That was
cool.
Good. He went back again, though. That's his own fault.
4-4 and double op still alive for FaZe.
Yeah.
But Astralis know it now. Karrigan got an op kill. So did Brokey.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they set the double ops up here. This is the wall bang. Rain's going to be happy about that. The double op will continue. Karrigan starting over towards Ivy again. Look at Frozen. He's just over on the B ramp alone again. Just had a little bit of an information play to check up the ramp, and it's starting to back a little bit further off now alone. So wanting to play further back, not committed when he's solo.
He might be making a read or making a feel that he doesn't think they're going to be attacking into the B bomb site this round, so he wants to cheat back and play it more passive, so he's got a quick rotation over to the A bomb site when the hit comes in. Does make things awkward when Brokey shifts over, however, with the op. So they change positions. Brokey's the point man on this defense.
Under a minute now for Astralis. Still have the option to go back pop dog, and that looks like what they're going to investigate at the moment. Rain's in a strong spot. Tucked in the corner, swings on the timing, and loses his life. So advantage now with Astralis at the 45-second mark in the round.
And EliGE just smoked T-mid, so he's got to just be gun out for pop. Stair should lead the way with low HP, and hopefully...
They still have 2 players on B as well.
Yeah, there's a B fake coming in right now, so Frozen and Broke, you have seen plenty of action at this bomb site. Don't want to budge. It's on EliGE initially.
Blind. So blind. Fantastic flash from Stout. Karrakin can't get it done. And now the final 2 players are locked in the B bomb site, but Brokey's come back quickly. Made the rotation into the site. Looking to be elusive with his sniper. Yabby in front of him. Quick shot to the chest. Is there anything else here for Brokey? Would need to be a hero. Okay, no scope to the face of Cadian. And Brokey is keeping FaZe with a shot at this, and that grenade would have been ridiculous. Damage done to Stair, but not enough to down him. And where is Frozen? He needs a little bit of help here, Brokey, if this round was going to happen, and it just doesn't come in time. So they're going to back away. They're going to save their weapons, and it is Astralis heading into the lead.
There's never any stress to make that retake happen. A couple of nice kills from Brokey, but if they didn't get the gift of that grenade, which they didn't, that was always going to be a save. If that grabs a kill, they'll go for it, but...
I was so close as well.
I know, it was very close to his position. Bomb goes boom, and Astralis have 5.
Saves pretty solid here too, because there's still enough cash to throw around and get a good buy.
Gotta say though too, this is another really good TF from Astralis on a map like Train that can feel suffocating. This TF has put enough rounds on the board for this to be very, very dangerous situation. Tenuous for FaZe. Astralis gets too many more down the stretch, and it'd be a disaster. Add into that the fact that FaZe really doesn't have that much money. In fact, they've got no money built up behind this. So a clean win here from Astralis, or a 5-player elimination win for Astralis, and FaZe is going to have no cash down the stretch. They put themselves in a very nice position to have a strong first half here on the decider of Train.
That was pretty cool.
That was really cool. Let's do it again.
Oh, EliGE in the middle of a fight though, and it's going to be perfect for FaZe to kick this off. Double from the rifle, and he gets away.
Yeah, and he bails out. That's really nice from EliGE. A little bit of pop dog aggression mixed in there. So back foot already for Astralis, 3 versus 5. And you can't really be a lurker anymore. You have to sort of be aggressive to try and make something happen to get your team back into this. Stound just waiting for his timing. Waiting for that smoke to clear in middle so his teammates can at least be at a distraction. Meanwhile, all this is going on, and Rain pushed up the lower ramp and cleared out virtually everything. Cleared out Pop, made sure no one was on the stairs, and now FaZe have all the information.
Good pick from Device EliGE with his 3rd kill of the round. Has single-handedly brought down this round from Astralis. 40 seconds remaining. Stalin starting to make his play out. He really needs to be successful if there's anything to happen here for Astralis, and he's got to do it soon. We're talking 30 seconds left to start planting that bomb. And he's not really being the most proactive, waiting for that smoke to fade, but you know, this is done. So not going anywhere.
Yeah, there's no good options, so you can't really blame him for being hesitant. I think he's also hoping Stair might get a gift that opens up the avenue for Stound to activate. There's a nice kill, and if you're ready for Brokey, you might have gotten that one as well, but Brokey spins. 8 seconds on the clock. Stair tries to bail out, but it's too late. 5-5, FaZe have tied things up again.
Yeah, going down into the last couple of rounds of the half here. Money's not in a great position for Astralis, so FaZe might have just been able to grind them down enough. Could be a 7-5 half for FaZe if they can. They really should close this next round out. Already a lot of great work done from Astralis, though. I think going to be happy with this half, even if it ends 7-5 in favor of FaZe.
You'll be happy with the number, but it'll leave you with a bad feeling if you go on a losing streak. Not the biggest deal in the world, but certainly they've got the number of rounds on the board that they need.
Ooh, Device is going to buy a Krieg.
Oh, okay. Getting weird with it.
Cool. It's actually not a bad idea on train, I suppose.
I don't think I've seen
you think about it.
Krieg since like the Liquid Grand Slam run.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
it's been out of there for a while. He's
People
gonna
have-
fall into EliGE's hands. And he's gonna remember.
That's a good point. You do give it over to a CT, and it's like, I'll hold this angle scoped in all day.
All right, so the decision to buy for Astralis has been made. It involves a Krieg, and this is what Device is doing. Needs to have a scope. Frozen. He's on high alert now. He had one bad round on the B-bomb site, and he's been honed in on watching for those early plays.
God, they have so much space so quickly. FaZe have run a number of aggressive plays towards B and pushing the box halls, but it feels like it's never really been in a round where Astralis has been taking control of box halls. They haven't been able to line up that aggression to be impactful, but here comes the execute.
Frozen gets his gun out this time, has the protection of the Thomas train, but he still goes down. Cadian's Mac-10 overruns him, and now Brokey needs to be careful. He's being pushed, he's being flanked, stares around the backside, and Brokey's gone. Astralis hit the B bomb site with force. They may have had weaker weapons, they may have had a weakened buy, but Astralis still pull through and get a 6th round win and are quickly scavenging all the little upgrades.
Yeah, that was, I mean, even this round, even Frozen having Brokey there as a teammate from the get-go, he's still isolated completely, basically played that round on his own. Brokey's smoked off in a bunch of different ways, flashbangs coming over, both of them playing sidewalk, and just decimated by Mac-10. Astralis is really assertive, aggressive plays towards the B-bomb site have been an issue for FaZe to handle. Last round of this first half. And FaZe fighting with scraps.
So some aggression needed instead. So they're going to send Rain in towards Pop Dog. He's not alone. He's got EliGE with him. And they're going to just start moving forward, taking a risk and trying to get in behind this Astralis play. But Cadian's waiting for this kind of aggression. So FaZe will take a pause and wait for the right moment. There's Device taking the pick on Brokey. Opening kill for Astralis just at the 1 minute mark.
Here's the move.
And here's Rain now going forward. They feel like this is the timing, but Cadian still got his eyes on it, but it's combined with some Frozen aggression. EliGE will fall at the hands of Cadian. Rain is long gone. And he's gone back to watch that team aim play forward. 48 seconds left. Astralis still with the player advantage. Rain trying to block team aim with a smoke. He's done a pretty good job at that, but here comes the reaction. Karrigan holding the Ivy push. Device is gone. Karrigan goes again. Not enough done to take down Stown. 35 seconds now in the round. Rain still a problem, still a possible threat, but he's only got a Deagle. He's got a strong position and an even stronger Deag. Rips the head off Stown, 20 seconds on this clock, and Cadian's come back with a bomb on his back. Rain is not ready, headshot in. It's just Frozen to try and close this out at a tied scoreline. Cadian moves forward, Frozen's got the headshot, and now with 10 seconds left, Sternix means to make the leap. Over the top, and Frozen brings him to the ground. 6-6, tied scoreline, and this is exactly what we want from a final map decider.
Yeah, been a brawl back and forth throughout this entire map. Neither team gaining too much of an advantage. Just the whole way through, always a response. And this time it's Frozen to get the closing kill. 15 kills on Brokey for FaZe. Next closest is at 7. That'd be Rain, Karrigan, and EliGE all at that point. Brokey has been a monster here on Train. But it hasn't translated into as many round wins as he would have liked. Got a couple of empty frags, trash frags at the end of unwinnable rounds. So a little bit of a break at halftime as they switch sides. It's Astralis who gets to show us their defense next.
Yeah, Getting a little tired.
And important to note as well, we've mentioned a couple of times this map was just played back in Lisbon, won by FaZe 13-7. That included an 11-1 scoreline on their CT half. Which obviously is a completely different situation than what we have here today, tied up at 6-6.
Yeah, definitely made some improvements in the Astralis department. But that 13-7 is still possible, Jason.
True.
Unlikely. FaZe quick. Sandwich smoke thrown in. Brokey's gonna dive on through, but Cadian's got the first kill of the round. In fact, he manages his second, but both of those kills are responded to almost immediately by FaZe. But Stown wants a double, and he's got exactly what he wants. Rain inside of the smoke, revealed to Device. So Astralis grabbed their 7th round, and it's the pistol round collected.
Oh man, that looked like FaZe was actually hitting a really nice timing, jumping through that sandwich smoke. I don't know how Cadian got 2. I only saw
crazy,
one of them. One of them just before we switched into his POV. Nice shooting from Cadian, good shooting from Stown, who got a double as well in the pistol. And FaZe just couldn't make it as explosive as it needed to be. Couldn't find those frags fast enough. So a good start to the CT campaign for Astralis.
Push him, stare in towards T-Main. Carrigan gonna lose his life. Astralis have the advantage, and you really shouldn't expect this one to go too far in the other direction.
No, should be fine. Rain gonna get a little frisky with his deagle, peeking deep into the bomb site. Cadian on the other end of that, the jiggles with the deagle not landing, and Cadian just says, I don't really need to take this fight, so I'll play it safe.
Yeah, looking back at some of the results in today's opening day with PGL Bucharest 2025, Aurora's first run with the new organization. Lost a map to Pain. Got the 2-1 done.
Oh, good. They got the dub.
Yeah, Liquid. Not so good. They lost 2-0.
To Legacy.
Falcons also having a rough time.
2-0 to Complexity.
But surprisingly, G2 getting a W. But it was against GamerLegion.
True. All right, well, this is the final push. FaZe have spent their time spread across the map, hoping these deagles can get picks.
Dude.
And there it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, 3rd time's the charm on Rain's peak, and now the bomb can get planted, and now it's scrambling if you're Astralis' defense trying to recover this, but still huge advantages.
Where's Star's gun? Oh god, he's only got a USP to work with right now, so they send him forward. Low HP in front of him in the form of Brokey. That was the perfect player to try and fight, but Brokey just rips his head off. Here comes Yabby past the oil train, needs to ignite, and he's got himself a double. 3rd kill offered up, but he's out of bullets. And Stown now 1v1 frozen down, and Stown able to recover the mess for Astralis. It's a win in the eyes of FaZe in terms of getting the bomb plant and the amount of damage they did, but when you get that close, you really want the whole thing.
So doing some economic trickery, I guess. Stare dropping a rifle to Device, who got to save some money for an op, but losing 4 players in the round makes that a little bit awkward, even in a victory. So, M4 is being picked up. Stare will be down to either a FAMAS or an SMG. He's going to go with the MP9. Great damage by FaZe. It was one of the positives we said about Astralis in the first half was they once the guns came out, they rattled off a couple rounds to make sure FaZe couldn't build up too much bank off early momentum on the CT side. Same thing now for FaZe. Have a chance to break this economy very early on.
Spam down through the smoke. It looked like it was guaranteed to be EliGE's, but Stown fires back more accurately and gets that kill. Device searching and getting a bullet through the brain. Brokey.
He's on one.
Great shot.
Yeah, he's on one today. Or at least in this map, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks as well to give away the equalizer like that. A relatively safe peek from Device, just beamed.
Dude, if anybody else steps up beside Brokey right now, it's going to be fantastic for FaZe.
Yeah. You get that right-hand man fragging as well. Get EliGE in there with a couple of big impact double kills. Kerrigan's going to creep out T-mid. Molotov into the position of
Cadian's
Cadian.
not enjoying that.
Yeah, Cadian's going to have to move. Swings for the fight. Goes down. Does massive damage, though, even in a losing effort, so not bad. If Yabi can hold on, round's still in contention, but it's drifting away. And now it's completely slipped out of their grasp. And the money is gone, so Stairs grabbed the AWP, and he's bailed out.
And Frozen immediately onto the hunt. They can even delay the plant if they wanted. They delayed it maybe a second longer there, and the hunt's already through, but Stair... middle of the bomb train, it's tough because you can get pushed from two sides.
And this is FaZe operating with the knowledge of the previous round of getting 4 kills and just saying, if we grab this one gun, they've got nothing that we need to stress about.
And they've got the entire fuse of that bomb to hunt him down here. So unlikely Stair will make it into the next, and Frozen will confirm that fact. He even picks up the AWP on the way out.
Now, important to note, in this series, FaZe has lost against a couple low buys out of the Astralis guys. Stairs Deagle has been wild today. Some of the Tech 9s have done good damage, so they're not exactly spotless against these low buy, half buy rounds that Astralis is about to bring out. Eight to 7. FaZe bring it within 1. Some fine rifle work down the stretch. Good job from Frozen hunting the AWP at the very end as well. And it's not a half or a low buy. It's a full investment for Astralis. They didn't have much to begin with, but MP9, Scout, and upgraded pistols. Setting up a timing for Ivy push. Frozen watching this from a distance.
Device's shoulder spotted. Frozen with some tentative play towards him. Made sure that he was in a safe spot, and then throws utility at possibly the worst time as Town nearly catches him, but Frozen able to jump around and make sure he doesn't even take a lick of damage.
It was great. They called his bluff. He's like, I'll give you 4 shots. I'm throwing this smoke. You can have 4 shots. We'll see what happens.
And none of them landed.
None of them landed. More deep utility coming out. FaZe looking like they want to pounce out of Pop Dog, pounce out of T-Main, get a little bit of lurk over towards Ivy in Frozen, and nobody's home at this bomb site. Astralis has stacked up elsewhere at B. So these weapons will be brought forward into the next round. These pistols and this 1 Scout on Cadian, the MP9 on Stair. But they'll concede the 8th round over to FaZe.
Would be such a heartbreaking day for Astralis to win the first map so convincingly, be so heavily in control on Dust2, to watch that slip away from you in overtime, to having a great first half here on Train. But FaZe, they're looking good in the second half so far. Wait till the gun rounds continue, but right now, looking solid.
I like this from Frozen. Brokey's
Don't
off
let them
drops.
have it.
We know, yeah, you kind of do have to. It's a cool idea.
Where did it
Oh,
blow?
it blew away under the
It
train.
blew away! Oh, dude, that was a magic trick.
Yeah, that's
Because
actually...
they couldn't actually see where it blasted because the
I
flames
know,
covered it.
Of all the places it could have gone as well.
That's a cool little detail.
All right, so no scavenging of the AWP. Would have been a cool resource for Astralis to find right at the end of the round. They'll have to play it dry with the weapons they picked up in the previous, which isn't anything to write home about. Deagle's MP9 Scout. Same play. Timing was around like the minute and 30-second mark, but now we got a run boost. Oh, that's a tough shot to adjust if you're Brokey, but can you get away from this? Yes, you can. You can just add more on top. Oh, it wasn't last round. It was this one to be the heartbreak for FaZe.
Dude, that's insane. How have they got away with so much? And there's a weapon down there at Ivy they're going to be thinking about a little bit later into the round, but right now, Rain and Carrigan, 2v4 to try and pull back. And Carrigan's taken so much damage on board, so the onus here is on Rain to do something massive. And I think he's just got the worst timing ever because Yabi spotted him in that corner. Instant kill in the 5-7. And Carrigan can't do anything. So they pushed out Ivy. They've got the recovered weapons. And yeah, this is heartbreak for FaZe to concede this round.
These low buys, I feel like they've had one in just about all 3 maps now with this one added on top. So Carrigan just going for the bomb plan, going for the team money, knowing winning is just way, way, way out of reach. He'll hold for Yabby. He knows the swing is there, who's playing it patiently, waiting for everyone to arrive, and he didn't even need anyone. Headshot from Yabby, and 9th round for Astralis. Just been back and forth since round 7. Both teams just trading rounds back and forth. No one able to build momentum. No one able to build money or bank. No one able to hit a hot streak on their T sides. This has been very contested every step of the way.
Nice. Rain's on a Tech 9. Everybody else has got their primary choice of weapon. But that is a huge round to pick up here for Astralis, and they're gonna go into pop fast, forced by the fire. They're gonna go speed up, stare at the front. Carrigan, utility in hand. Oh, this could be perfect. Stare gets in, double kill. Great transfer onto the second player as well. Rain just can't catch a break. Looking the other way, just gets his head ripped off, and now a 5v3 for Astralis. Surely they just closed this one out.
They never had the information. Kerrigan thought that Molly would hold them at bay, but they'd already beaten it. He bounces it past them. Beautiful sequence from Stare. 16 kills on him, 15 on Stown. That pair of riflers for Astralis having a fantastic third map. And what do you do if you're FaZe? No money in the bank. The save round victory from Astralis has set themselves up to close out this series. A win here in a 5-on-3 into a very labored investment from FaZe in the following round, and Astralis will be at 11.
Spray down through the smoke. Stare is going to send the grenade in. Ooh, just a default, not going to work out, but Stown certainly looking like he's going to make it happen here. First headshot's in, denies the plant, and tried for the triple, but Frozen able to stand his ground. But 4 players to collect, and it's not even going to be the first. So Device chimes in. It's 10 rounds for Astralis, double figures collected. They're getting towards the finish line.
And you're sitting around $2,000 in the bank for the FaZe players for the most part. EliGE at 2,700. Everyone else huddled around 2K. So you can't really get anything all that impactful. Feels like a round that FaZe is going to have to make the tough decision to just save the weapons they have, let this losing bonus build up one more time.
Yeah, I like the echo. That was cool.
And come in at 8-11. So a few upgraded pistols, no armor, nothing to speak of. Astralis have regained control of this series right at the tail end of Train.
Maybe this is all FaZe's plan though, Jason. You know, you let them get to the brink of victory again. Then suddenly, FaZe are back.
The heartbreak stings just that much more.
I mean, it has been a one-man show throughout this map for FaZe. Brokey doing what he can, but not enough supporting cast around him.
And now you're getting those proactive CT sides in where there's so much calm and so much quiet outside. Cadian and Stown push up pop. Kerrigan's gonna go down. Other 2 players isolated over in box halls.
Good pick from Stown. Yabby able to come in and clean up the final. So 11 rounds to 8. Astralis getting to the point now where they are about to claim victory versus FaZe in a 2-1 fashion today to kick off PGL Bucharest 2025. And this feels like the last legs that FaZe have to stand on.
Well, let's see what this is. I mean, this next round's going to tell us everything.
Yeah. So a timeout at least available to take before it. You're going to get the buyback, and everybody's going to be on an AK.
And what have the issues been in the recent rounds for FaZe? A lot of it has been that some of that aggression. We've seen the Pop Dog push. We saw the Ivy push. A lot of it has been Astralis getting in your face in the first 20, 30 seconds at various parts of the map. So if you're Neo during this timeout, having a little chat, you're just reminding the boys to look out for that. They're feeling frisky. They're feeling some of these aggressive plays. So look for those pushes. Don't get caught off guard. And here we go. Round 20, 8-11. AK-47's out for FaZe across the board. Astralis have an AWP in the field of play in the hands of Device, and plenty of cash.
Pick from Device going again, but caught in the open and can't get away. So EliGE will punish him for his missed shot.
The missed shot, but also you don't often see Device take a pick like that and then swing wider for the next fight. I think Device just, the mistake is him looking for that next fight immediately instead of backing off and reassessing.
Cadian, ooh. Look at this timing again. Aggression. Up through Pop Dog, it is the bane of their existence, and Rain is worried about a push coming in, but he handles the second player. Fantastic work from Rain to get the 2 in that situation, and that keeps FaZe in the fight.
Yeah, there you go. Even if you're having a bad game, you can always have impact. That's a massive double kill for Rain to get. Smoke being thrown out.
There's Yabby on the pick back, though.
If you're Astralis right now, you're like, this could be a fake. Like, we have to be really careful. It's hard for these 2 players to get together.
So Stown getting closer with the AWP. Bomb plant coming in, confirming the position of the remaining 2 players here of FaZe, and Stown is going to creep out ever closer. Spotted 1. Scope is up. Grenades in. Stown's position. Give it away. EliGE making the move, but Stown's got the read, and the no-scope connects. EliGE is down. Now Brokey left 1v2. Such an important round here for FaZe. Brokey's had a lights-out map so far on his own. Stown's on the defuse. Stown is sticking it, and Brokey is nowhere to be found. Yabby kept him occupied. Brokey gets both kills, but the round is already done, and Stown steals it away.
Just the way the round played out, Brokey had no chance in that clutch. Just the way he had to reposition from the AWP, reposition from the nade, reposition from the flank, all the way towards Z. He's repositioned himself away from the bomb and has no chance to stop it. Well done from Astralis. 12-8. They got 4 chances to close out the series. AWP was recovered at the end of the round by Brokey, so he'll at least have that. And FaZe gonna end this on a fast, aggressive yard play.
There's Device straight through the smoke. Carrigan gonna get caught. So in terms of finding the correct first step to closing out this series, Device has gone ahead and grabbed it. Yabby now getting involved, and it's all over. Device with a second shot through the smoke. Pack it up, pack it in. FaZe collapse at the hands of Astralis. It's a 2-1 victory. They get the revenge from their previous matchup 2 weeks ago in Lisbon, where FaZe dominated them in a quick 2-0, but Astralis have come back into Bucharest with some improvements. Would have liked a 2-0 today themselves. Had the opportunity on Dust2, but stabilized here on Train.
I think you just have to look at this and just be, you got to be happy that you found a way to reinvigorate and reactivate 3 of the players who in Lisbon were really, really struggling for you. Cadian, Yabby, and Stare all had nightmare tournaments at that event, but now they've bounced back and they've at least got this first win. And let's see if it can continue, because that's an Astralis that seems on the right path.
Well, there we go. Astralis took it. I would argue a